Welcome to the DJ Staples 93 DJ Roundtable on Twitch.
All right. Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome. Yours truly, DJ Staples 93. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the DJ Staples 93 Roundtable, presented to you by Hard Dickens Cider. I'd like to welcome everyone here out to this Monday again. Pretty excited to speak to our guests here this evening. We've got a couple of very nice gentlemen from the other side of the world, if you will. We'll get to them in just a moment. First, a quick shout out, Victor Dancer. Victor, I barely said anything, and you're already cheering bits. So thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. But of course, I hope you guys like the new introduction. I got to be honest with you. I think it's pretty badass, if I do say so myself. And I can't take credit for that, of course. I had a good friend of mine help me produce that, if you will. And I'd like to introduce him right now to the round table. I'm giving him a second because he's chewing on a burrito. And look, I'm not going to lie. I've missed this guy. He's the OG with me. We started this thing out one night saying, look, I don't feel like doing music. Don't want to do any streaming music tonight. You want to just bullshit and see how it goes. And he was the OG with me. So without further ado, I'm glad that he's here with a nice little guest appearance here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, chewing on his burrito. DJ Katz, what's up?
Pause on that all the way.
I know.
If I could chew on my burrito, I wouldn't be here with you right now.
That's true. You wouldn't need friends.
No, who needs friends when you can chew on your own burrito?
Pause.
Exactly. Well, how's it going, everybody? Good to see you.
Dude, it's so good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while, and yeah, you know, it's good to kind of be back here tonight and check it out and yeah, do it up. So welcome everybody, and good to see you.
What kind of burrito are you eating?
As I belch into the camera here.
Do it.
Like Stern. This is a mango chicken burrito.
Oh, very nice. All right.
Yeah, there's a place here in Toronto I go to called Burrito Banditos, and the story in a nutshell with these guys is that they started off as Burrito Boys. If you're in Toronto watching, Burrito Boys started off as a cool franchise, and there was some, I guess, fighting or whatever was going on, some animosity going on, and they decided to disband, and one brother started Burrito Banditos, and the other one kept Burrito Boys, and that's the story pretty much in a nutshell. So
dueling banditos, dueling burritos.
That's right. That's dueling banditos. I like that's actually a better name for a burrito shop, dueling banditos.
It's like an FU to the other guy.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
maybe we'll
yes, that's I'm just I'm eating it as I go here. I won't eat on screen, of course, but I might tune out while I finish it up. And I gotta actually, as it's getting darker, you can see obviously behind me, which is actually right in front of me, but you can see the mirror reflection. Yep. It's getting darker here. As it's getting darker later days here. It's 8 o'clock, 8:11 here right now. So the next little bit, I got to change the contrast of my camera and get some better lighting. So I might have to tune out temporarily while I do that. But otherwise, yeah, okay. Good to see you and good to chat. And it's been a while. And hey,
you know what? I got a question that all the single ladies that are watching want to know, Eli.
Sure. What's that? Oh yeah, sorry. Mary's saying, yeah, I know, Mary. I get it. There's a mirror. I know.
It's his house, Mary. He knows.
I live here.
You're got dirty laundry, right?
Well, yeah. Well, I closed up the laundry chute here. So yeah. What were you gonna say before I interrupted you there?
No, it's all good. They want to know if there's a mirror on the ceiling.
Oh my God, there is.
Oh, is it? Hey, baby.
I just noticed that for the first time. I've been here for 4 years, and I just noticed that. So
there you go. It's gonna be one of those shows. So let me. What's that?
That's the after hours.
That's the after hours show. Hey now. So also helping us in the panel, the man I like to call Geppetto, the wizard behind the camera, the man in control, my pal, the guy that he helps out. Let's have a nice round of applause and let's hope to God he knows how to play that damn piano behind him for a change. Victor, stop with the bits, man. I love you, but thank you. Seriously, we haven't done anything yet. Anyway.
To him you have.
Well, maybe. Victor's fantastic.
He is.
Sure, Victor will be live tonight on Bracktoons Zoom at midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Anyways, let's give a nice shout out to the gentleman, the wizard, the man behind the curtain. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Impressions DJs, Dan. And he's upside down.
Oh, look at this. He's dancing on the ceiling tonight.
What's going on here? Wait a minute.
Wow, don't.
It's Australia. That's why it's.
All the blood's rushing to your head.
How long have you been waiting to do that, man? How long have you been waiting to do that?
Oh, dude, I've been behind scenes like this, upside down, and I gotta fix myself up here, man. I gotta fix this.
Is on purpose because we're talking to folks in Australia?
Well, exactly what it is, because we're in Australia. They're the other side of the world here, so we just have to, let's get this fixed up here. Wait.
I gotta call bullshit.
There we go.
That's definitely impressive.
That's better.
Welcome back.
That's better.
Welcome back. How are you? Happy Monday.
I figured too that also ties in with the whole
That's smart.
mirrors on Katz's ceiling and everything.
Yeah, very smart.
So, by the way, I for one can confirm that Katz does have mirrors on the ceiling, and we've used them plenty of times. I mean, what's
that now?
We'll stop that right now.
Charles, what now?
I don't even want to know.
I think Victor, by the way, he's trying to start a hype train here. Let's get.
Is that what Victor's doing?
I'm gonna drop in 100. I want to get this going. Let's go.
I don't think you're in on that.
And now Impressions just cheered. Thank you guys. It's very, very kind of you. So listen, let's.
Mary starts the trains, by the way. She's been starting train after train after train.
She's gonna kick it off right now.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Nick is in the chat. Hello, Nick.
Hey there, R2D2. How's it going?
Good to see you as always, my friend. All right, so without further ado, because nobody really wants to hear us yap.
No.
Let's welcome our guests into the room. First and foremost, let's say this gentleman was Time Magazine's 2006 Person of the Year. And I have to know what that's all about. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Australia, DJ Glenn McBride, live and in flesh. How are you, Glenn?
Yeah, good time of day to you all, no matter where you are, evening, morning, night, tomorrow as it is here in Australia.
Yeah, good morning, right? You're at 10 a.m., am I correct?
10:15 on Tuesday morning. Yes, and it is.
Can we officially say it? May the 4th be with you.
Oh, that's right. It is May the 4th.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Very nice.
But it's May the 4th be with you, and Revenge of the 5th is so old hat that they now call it This is the May.
This is the May.
This is the May. So, for those.
In the U.S., it's going to be May,
Right.
Justin Timberlake.
By the time we get out of this quarantine, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Here at least.
Yeah.
But your dates are backwards anyway. You put the month before the date, and that just ruins everything.
That's true. We do that. Yeah, you're right. It's supposed to be the day, month, and year.
And, we have metric, and you don't, so we win. Thank you. Good night.
Look, I'm with you. I'm with you on the metric, Glenn.
I mean, listen, it goes back down to this whole thing where we're just upside down, right? That's what it is.
Oh, you're back asswards.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry I'm late. I had to feed my pet kangaroo before.
Oh.
Did you have a Foster's beer for breakfast?
Let me tell you about Foster's. No one in Australia drinks it. We send 100% of it offshore because it's absolute garbage.
And you know what? My buddy Ron, he lives there. He's been in the Gold Coast. He's been in Brisbane, and he's been everywhere. Been living there for 10 years. And he tells me, yeah, you guys know Foster's as being one of the biggest farcical jokes of all. And it's just the crappiest beer of anything. And I mean, it's because of The Simpsons that's just kind of made it what it was. And obviously made Australia such a joke in a lot of ways, which is sad. But, it's interesting that you say that about Foster's. It's really interesting to say that because it's so true.
And I want to pull you up on something, DJ Katz. Can you say Brisbane again for me?
Brisbane.
That's amazing. You're the only North American I've heard say it correctly the first time. Everyone says Brisbane, and it does. I want to tear my hair out.
It's because of my friend, because he said it's not Melbourne. It's not Melbourne. It's Melbourne, and it's
Melbourne. That's right. B-U-N.
Yeah, exactly. Or I know it's almost Arbo for you right now. Like I know these things, so I've been learning as I go over the past 10 years, and actually the voice of the introduction, the new introduction you heard tonight, that was actually my friend Ron Young, who was who is still a very prominent announcer and still does radio shows in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and whatnot. So anyway, that was his voice, and he's in Australia with you. So there you go.
Excellent. Well, there's hope for us.
I'm going to keep track today of all the Australian lingo that we learned today.
Jot it
down. I'm going to jot it all down.
That'll be lost.
Well, let me set a couple of things straight here. We don't call them shrimps, and we don't put them on the barbie. That's the one thing. I want to murder Paul Hogan for doing that. Outback Steakhouse doesn't exist here, and it's not Australian cuisine.
And you got Chris Hemsworth. Stacy V in the chat says you guys have Chris Hemsworth, so you guys win automatically.
Yeah.
Well, I don't bat for that team, but if she wants to have Chris Hemsworth,
well, I'm going to put a little. That's my girlfriend, so pretty much safe to say that if Chris Hemsworth comes around, I'm shit out of luck.
So Chris Hemsworth is your girlfriend's poll pass? Is that what you're saying?
Him and Ricky Martin, but that's a whole other conversation.
Let me tell you guys something. I think there's one person in Australia who's better looking than Chris Hemsworth. I'm telling you right now.
Who would that be?
You know who that is?
I want to know.
It's this gentleman right here.
Oh,
if you don't mind, if I can introduce him, it's this gentleman right here. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause because we don't want to leave him waiting in the wings too long. No. The one and only Dan, the Audio Brothers.
What's up, Danny boy?
Yes.
Tell me he's not. Come on. You're going to tell me that's not better looking than Chris? Right. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, you're a handsome son of a bitch, Dan. I'm not going to lie to you. But that's not my team. I don't judge.
Hey?
Disco Vinny, who do you think's better looking? Well, that's
Disco only likes Harding. That's it. It's only Harding. Disco.
Only Harding. Good morning, Dan. How are you?
The question is, can you tell how old I am?
I'd say early 24.
Oh, wait! Don't forget the conversion.
Oh yeah,
24.
14.
24 in metric.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm actually 49.
Oh, you do not look 40.
Get out.
You don't look a day over 48,
Yeah.
Dan.
Hang on, I got to change the color of my camera. Yeah,
Thanks, Matt.
Good for you, guy. Good for you.
So what's going on, gentlemen? How are you this fine Tuesday morning?
Very well.
How's the weather for you guys?
Well, here in Melbourne, not
miserable.
Melbourne, it absolutely smashed rain until about an hour ago. It was like almost monsoonal rain overnight. It's just the changing of seasons from summer to winter. We're in autumn, or as you like to call it, fall. Right. And so, all the hot air onshore is meeting all the cold air offshore, and we have monsoonal rains.
Now, how far are you guys from each other?
About, as over road, about 10 hours drive, or about 800 kilometers.
Dan, whereabouts are you again now?
Yep. I'm in Canberra, mate.
In where? Sorry?
Canberra, the capital.
Oh, okay.
Now, Canberra is like Washington, D.C. It was purpose-built. And it's about as sterile, too.
Mary wants to know how many kilometers.
Kilometers? Gee whiz. Divide by 1.6.
No, we'll just go with miles and hours, and yeah. We'll just keep.
Like I said, we got metric.
I'm fine with it. I'm good with the metric system. I've converted.
661.
There you go.
Now, did you guys know each other prior to the whole Twitch thing?
No.
Yeah, sort of. Through
what?
Well, through boards. On the DJ groups, Facebook groups and stuff.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I stand corrected.
So Glenn, let me ask you, before we go on to the regular questions, I need to know Time Magazine's Person of the Year 2006?
Yeah.
Talk to me. What's that about? How did that become? What happened?
Did you Google it?
I did not Google it because I wanted to ask you specifically.
Well, it's quite an anticlimax when you read it up, because the Person of the Year in 2006 for Time Magazine was, quote unquote, you.
Oh, it was one of those deals.
Yeah, so everybody was. But of course, nobody bothers to look it up, and they go, you can't be serious. You weren't. And like, look it up.
That is fantastic, though. You had me going. Like, I might have to add that to my Twitch profile.
Oh, it's in my CV. Not that I'm applying for jobs anytime soon, but
suddenly I feel more important in life.
Under achievements, Time Magazine's Person of the Year.
I was going to say that's a pretty big life achievement right there. Have you topped that? Have you gotten any further than that?
No, I peaked early. Downhill from there.
Yeah.
I'm still peaking.
What?
I'm still peaking.
Yeah, well, I heard that. So, okay, Glenn. So, how long have you been a DJ? I'm going to ask you the basic questions because people want to know.
They want to know this sort of thing. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to other stuff, but
So let me have a look. What time is it now? It's 10:23. So I've been a DJ since 1985.
Wow.
okay.
Go back.
So you were 10.
No, I was 18 then.
I was trying to throw you a bone.
19. No.
Well,
No, no.
DJing at 19 years old.
So I heard we have something here called community radio, which is roughly equivalent to college radio there. And on one of the community radio stations we had here, they used to do what would be called dance music. And that was pretty pioneering back in 85, right? Back in 85, radio was, the top 40 and 2 new tracks on heavy rotation. So this station to play dance music was really rad. And I thought, man, I want to do that. And so, as the story goes, here we are. Right. So I ended up, going on radio twice and doing people's parties and just, fairly typical introduction to DJing. I kind of liked it and it kind of stuck with me. In tandem with that, I had an IT career, working all around the world for a company that, you sat in the same seat and you change names every 3 years because of acquisitions. Some of the names people wouldn't know and some would. If you're from Canada, you'd be familiar with Nortel Networks. That's who I ended up with ultimately. Yeah. Before they went gurgle. They paid me a bunch of money to leave, so I did. And I was pretty senior in there. I used to look after a third of the Earth's surface in terms of customer support. And it would be quite common for me to get a pager message on Saturday afternoon that said be in Hong Kong Monday morning, and I was. That was the kind of job it was. And I was running that in tandem with trying to be a DJ. Wow. And then when they packaged me off just before the .com crash, I thought, you know what? This is the universe trying to tell me that I should be a DJ full time. So I took a 99% pay cut and became a DJ.
That's what happens to a lot of people. A lot of people just tend to move on from their actual careers and do that because when you're in control of your own business and what you want to make and how you want to make it, I mean, that's the best way to go, right? So that's
yeah. Look, it's been an interesting trip. I'd do it again. I've learned a lot.
Well, I was going to say, because a lot of times when you're posting things and you got the technology down. I mean, it's obvious you're a tech guy. I mean, just in some basic conversation with you and even some of your posts on Facebook, like I know you're talking tech, but it's way over my head. I'm not saying I'm anybody special, but I'm like, fuck, he's talking tech again. Like some stuff I just don't even understand, but it's obvious that you're definitely a tech guy.
Well, it's yeah, you never forget that sort of stuff. It doesn't matter what your career path is/was before you became a DJ. You never forget it. I was never a desktop support guy. Like in Nortel Networks /Bay Networks /Synoptics before that, same company but just acquisitions. We never did tech. It was all comms. So it was all. I like to say to people, Al Gore claims he built the internet. I reckon I've got a better claim to that than he does. But I can't prove it.
No, I would definitely agree that you built it more than he did.
But back in the day when 10 megabit LANs were fast, and wide area networks was 128 kilobits. That's kind of what we're talking about. I was one of the first people within our organization to remotely work. So where I'm sitting right now is where was my office at Nortel, because all my direct reports were in Sydney, Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan, Thailand, Indonesia, all over the surface of the earth, India. And so my nearest direct report was 900 miles that way.
Wow.
And we had ISDN connected to the house, which was really unusual back in the day. But anyway, I could talk about that ad nauseum and put people to sleep. It's
kind of interesting how it all kind of comes together that way, right? So
yeah, but in 2000 they said we want to package you off, and I'm like, okay then. So they did.
Very nice.
And now here I am.
So when you started DJing, like What kind of music did you listen to growing up?
Whew. Well, firstly, you got to understand, up until the point I started DJing, I was living at home. So you get dad music. So,
Yeah.
you get Neil Diamond's Hot August Night on endless loop. You get and everything around that. So you get Beatles and all that sort of stuff. So
It becomes a part of you.
It does, but you also kind of get oversaturated. You don't want to hear it again for a while. I kind of got over that, and then when I discovered these community radio and all the dance stuff, it's like, oh, this is fantastic. This is like music I really like, and they're playing it on the radio. How good is this?
Sure.
Dance music in Australia is pretty big, though, is it not?
You could ask this question to 20 DJs and get 25 different answers. Australia has sort of equal influences between European/UK dance music and US house music that originated from Detroit and Chicago, and that sort of melds together, which is interesting. So through the 90s, and Dan's probably better to speak to this than I am, there was a lot of Euro influences that came through that a lot of my North American friends go, how good is this? Where's this been hiding? It's like, well, here it charted, and they're like, never heard of it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Euro, Marky D's not here right now, but boy, oh boy, he's the king of Euro, that guy. I'm sure he'll be in here later. And, be happy to talk about Euro music all day long.
Right.
What are you into now, Glenn? What do you like listening to now?
You could ask me this question now, and I'll say, I like Chicane's new album. And in half an hour, ask me again, I'll go, I don't mind Camel Fat or Art Bat or, Rufus the Soul or whatever, right? It's just, you probably get a more detailed answer out of me by asking me what I don't like to listen to. And that is colored by experiences DJing in front of crowds more so than music that is actually terrible to listen to. It's just, that happens.
Can we agree that We Built This City on Rock and Roll is the worst song ever made?
No, that's far from the worst song ever made.
What do you think is the worst song, Glenn? And Dan.
So understand that this answer is colored by experiences that happened to me with people in front of me. So not on Twitch or anything like that, or just playing my own music from my own library. So people react differently. Like a lot of my experience is happened because people, just do stupid shit, frankly.
Yeah.
A song that I could never hear again, and it would be too soon if I ever heard it again, is an Australian song called K-Sand by a group called Cold Chisel.
Okay.
And in and of itself, the song is not terrible, right? It's just, A, it's played to death. B, the people have no clue what the song's about. And C, the people who request it think it's a get pissed and act like an absolute F-wit song, right? So combine those together. I never would want to hear that again if I could help it.
Okay.
We have a lot of those types of songs here too. Like, there's always this one artist that comes out and shouldn't be an artist, or maybe they won on Eurovision, or I don't know what it is, and they just say, hey, some of these songs, especially from today, they're just not like it was back in the day. But yeah, Starship, I don't know. I wouldn't agree that's the worst song ever.
Hate it. Worst song ever, in my opinion.
You have bad memories from the song. Is that why, or is there something that?
It's not a good song, or anything by Coldplay. It's
that's offensive, man. That's offensive.
I don't care. I could sleep to anything, but Coldplay really does it.
Fighting Words, one of my favorite dance tracks, is a remix of Clocks.
Yeah, but it's a remix.
Which one? The remix one?
But you say remix, but at the same time, Staples, a lot of songs that are remixed are like fantastic.
Oh no! If it's a remix, I'm in. But Coldplay, just a regular sneeze fest. Sorry.
I learned to play Clocks on the keyboard, so I actually quite like it.
I learned how to play it too a few months back. Well, not probably the way you have, but I mean, I learned like basics of how to play it. And hey, I mean, they're I wouldn't even say they're an acquired taste. Coldplay, they're a great band. I mean, it's I just think it gets like a bad rap. Like Nickelback gets a bad rap here in Canada. Coldplay gets a bad rap a lot of places too. And I think you don't like Coldplay because you saw it in a movie. And
no,
I know you, man.
No. But listen, I'm in my basement. They're making millions, so fuck me. So, right?
Exactly. But even so,
let's be honest.
not everybody is every artist is everyone's cup of tea, like I've said before, but different
Exactly. It's teach their own. It's
exactly. But yeah, I think Chris is, and he's done a lot for. I mean, I can say things about bands that I don't like, but people will be offended. So I'm just not going to say anything.
That's why I never do either.
I don't want to offend. I know a lot of people in the chat saying, I love Coldplay, Mary, Victor. Everybody loves Coldplay. That's cool. It's just not my thing.
When the topic comes up, hey, what song do you hate the most? I love it all. That's my answer, really.
So we were talking about albums here a second ago. So do you guys find that you tend to listen to an album? Because I find I get so many albums in the span of a month or a year that I collect them like anybody, but I never listen to albums. You guys listen to is there any album you've listened from start to finish, whether it's streaming or you have a tangible copy? Is there any album that you guys, Dan and Glenn, I'm going to ask you guys specifically, are there any albums you've listened to recently, start to finish, any genre? What is it you've been listening to?
I can't think of an album that I've listened top to bottom.
I don't listen to anything.
It's tough, right? It's tough today to actually find an album that you want to listen to, because we live in the single based world of a track that comes out and we have to have that track and play the crap out of it. But it's true that I've seen so many albums. What was the album I got recently that was so? Oh, there was one that was so good. I'll have to think of it. I have to remember, but it was like I listened to it from start to finish, and I'm like, oh man, that was a really fantastic. I can't remember what it was. What was it?
Xanadu. It was Xanadu.
No, it wasn't. This is like a newer album. I know. Disco Vinny loves Xanadu.
I'm trying to be topical. You see what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did. I see.
Always trying.
I'm trying
Glenn, you also mentioned like dad music for you growing up. You got Neil Diamond. What kind of dad music are you playing for your daughter? Does she like it? I mean, or is she like, oh, Dad, not this song. This is lame.
No, she doesn't stream anymore for whatever reason. That's no longer the thing of the month. But
no more Twitch take over.
Yeah, she just decided that was enough of that.
Yeah.
I let her pick her own stuff. So she likes Katy Perry. We went to the Katy Perry concert, which was probably the second loudest concert I've ever been to in my life. Nice. She likes oh damn, I wish I'd known that there was a test. I would have studied.
You got time. Open your books.
No, I would open Virtual DJ and have a look, but it's actually uninstalled in here. I'm moving this computer at the moment. Megan Trainor she likes.
Great writer.
She's still in that kind of zombies and the Disney stuff. It's kind of tailing off, but she's still in that sort of mode at the moment. But I don't play anything to her, and in fact, if you were to come, if I was working from home on my own and you were to come to my house, you would encounter silence, because I don't want to go to work when I'm not working.
Right.
So I don't have the radio on. I don't have the TV on.
I'm like that.
If my wife has the TV on channel MTV or whatever downstairs, it'll be on the 80s channel or something. So my daughter gets exposed to ABBA a bit. But
she likes some of the classic songs. And I'm noticing now, obviously I haven't done a school dance in a long time, but I know a lot of youth and whatnot. I'm noticing, I've been saying this in a few of the chat rooms I've been on in the past week or so, that I'm noticing the younger generation. I'm talking about like kids, my nephew's ages 7 up until about 15, 16. That generation are listening to the stuff that we were brought up on, the classics, which is amazing, because I feel like there's hope for us as we potentially DJ again, that these are a generation that's going to be, I don't want to hear Drake, no offense to Drake or anybody who likes Drake, I like Drake too, but anybody specifically that, they're going to want to hear the classic songs as opposed to the newer things, which...
I think the best thing behind that is that if it inspires artists to start remaking music similar to that again.
Right, well, look at The Weeknd. I mean,
right, exactly.
The Weeknd has... I think maybe he's one of the albums I was talking about, but I mean, I listened to his album recently, and a lot of the songs he has is very new wavy, very retro feel. Even his latest song, Save Your Tears, which he just did a remix with Ariana Grande. That track is very Everything She Wants from Wham meets Bob Seger Still the Same. It's got that same sort of style. So it's amazing that artists are starting to pick up on that, so kids can, be influenced by it more,
Yeah, I agree. I think the Weeknd stuff's improving with every release. Like when he first hit the scene, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, another one of those, part of the noise. But the stuff he's come out with the last sort of 6 to 8 months, like wow, it really stands out. So good on him. Whoever's producing him is obviously having a positive influence on him.
Yeah, no, I think because a lot of people just love going back. Obviously, just seeing the Twitch DJs alone, how much of 80s and 90s is so influenced on Twitch. I mean, it goes to show you that how those genres and how people want to live in that kind of past way as opposed to the newer stuff. We weren't as overwhelmed with music back in the day, right? We always had a song, or if it was Michael Jackson, you knew you were getting an album once every 5 or 6 years, and It was a very cool concept, as opposed to now you're just getting song after song, week in and week out, and it gets forgotten about unless you're like the top flavor of the week. You're forgotten about. So I think it's interesting to see that it's kind of going back that way.
On that topic, so I've started DJing to live audiences again this year,
right.
And the venue that I do on Saturday night is very young, right? They're all obviously 18 because we don't have the 21-year-old drinking thing. We have 18 here, so everyone comes in and they're all 18.1, but they look 12. I mean, that's disturbing. Yeah. Like if you look at some of the posts I put on Facebook, even Dan said, "Gee, how long do they all look?" I'm like, "Oh, they all look 12."
Yeah.
So there's two distinct groups that come into this venue, and they're all the same age. There's the ones who want the old stuff, so they want me to play "Gimme Gimme" by ABBA and Ace of Base and all that stuff. The 90s, like Everybody Backstreet's Back, bang, goes on twice a night, right? And then there's the other group who want the stuff that's full of profanity and full of misogyny, and I really rail against that. Oh, look, for example, I don't have WAP in my system. I just tell people I'm not going to play it. I got a 12-year-old daughter, and I'm not going to play it on principle. Mm-hmm. And they all get pissy with me for about 10 seconds, and then they walk off and get another drink.
Right.
But whatever, that's where I draw the line.
Well, I think if especially if you can take those songs and you can remix them and and you can start playing those remixes of songs, that's a better way to play it. At least it gives it something different, and hopefully shows them that there's a little bit of a so. And Dan, do you do a lot of remixing at all?
Audio battery.
So originally I'm into like. Can you guys?
Yeah, you're cutting in a little bit. Cutting in and out a bit.
I'm having some audio issues.
Have you been able to hear us at all?
All right.
Yeah, you seem okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on because I never normally have this.
Yeah, you seem okay at times. Like it just kind of cuts in and out, but it seems okay right now, I think. But
Disco Vinny in the chat wants to know what WAP is.
I'll jump off for a sec.
Who wants to jump on and answer that one?
WAP stands for.
Okay,
I'm ready. Want me to do it? I'll say it.
Do it, Cass.
I'll say it. WAP stands for. You don't know this, Vinny. I think you just want me to say it. But WAP stands for wet ass pussy.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's like, I know you, dingy.
Weird ass pickle. That's in the other world. Okay,
but Glenn, I'm with you, right? Because I think on Facebook we commented, you mentioned Cardi B's Up. And I was like, yeah, my kids just the other day, like, Daddy, can you play Up? I'm like, nope. Not happening.
Up I call WAP 2.0, right? It's the same
WAP
it's
2.0.
the same crap.
Yeah.
It's the same crap, different song, right? And so, I played that because I wasn't familiar with the words on Saturday because someone asked for it, and I'm like, whoa, I'm deleting that as soon as that's finished. And then of course immediately they're all doing this to me.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
they're doing that with WAP written, and I'm just doing this to them because I can't hear them and they can't hear me. It's as loud as hell where I work. Yeah. And they're like, why? And then I type on my phone, I got a 12-year-old daughter and you can get stuffed or something like that. Like I was pretty pointed. And they're like, and then they walk away. They'll deal.
Yeah, and even with like the clean version, if it doesn't make a difference because you're dropping out the F-bombs and the N-word and all this other kind of stuff, but I don't know. Anyone that look, when it comes to I'm a loudmouth in general, but when it comes to my kids, I am so conservative, and Stacy V can attest to that. Like it is what it is. I just don't want them listening to that kind of stuff, right?
When they're requesting for you, just got to keep it real.
It's funny because what kind of irks me is like when I get my music. I know this is. I mean, maybe you guys will agree too. I noticed over the span of at least, let's say, 6 to 7 years, there is just explicits in every song. Like you can't, unless you're Will Smith, and no offense to Will Smith, because I like him too. Unless you're Will Smith, you're not swearing in your songs, but it seems like every artist, even the most cleanest of artists, are releasing a version with explicitives or cursive in it, or cursing in it rather. And it's like, I just don't understand why music has to, like, I understand we all swear. I say fuck, like shit. I swear like a sailor constantly. But the fact of the matter is that.
Is your mother with that mouth, Eli?
No, I haven't seen my mother.
Do you think that because it's not just recently? I mean, I remember when I was a kid. I remember looking at an album when we were at
hip hop
here HMV, and it was NWA, and on the bottom it had explicit lyrics.
But it wasn't to the same extent. It wasn't. It was like maybe a few tracks here and there. I'm talking about an artist that will release an album and feels the need to have
the need. That's exactly what it is.
I don't get it because is it trying to say, oh, okay, well, my song is going to be so offensive that radio can't play this version? I mean, radio doesn't even care. Not to mention, you got to think to yourself, these kids who are not even listening to radio anymore, sadly, they're going into YouTube and they're finding the actual version on YouTube. And then when they hear it on the radio, they're like even I'll just use for example, Cake by the Ocean, DNC,
right.
Joe Jonas's band, great fun song. But is it a song that has to have swearing in it necessarily? It's supposed to be a fun poppy track to have swearing in it. So when the kids hear the radio version, like they're swearing when they're hearing the song on the radio because it's normal for them. So
can I tell you how many songs I've played that because I'm part of music subscription pools that when I get the songs, I start playing it and I'm always playing the clean versions. And it isn't until years later that I realize, hey, they're swearing in the song. And I just didn't know.
You know, right.
Cake by the Ocean was one of them. I just didn't know until years later because I just don't listen to the other versions on YouTube or anything, you know?
Right. Yeah, the kids know it. And that's why the kids learn it right away. And you can try to protect your kid as much as you want. If they're on YouTube and they have access to a smart device of some sort or a computer, they know these songs before we even know these songs. So
I got a question for everybody. Glenn, I'll start with you, and then hopefully Dan Audio Brothers can jump back on. Glenn, do you remember the first song you ever heard that had a curse word in it?
Oh, good question.
Ooh.
I do. That's why I'm asking.
That's a good question.
The first song that had a curse word in it.
I gotta think about that.
I'm struggling to think. It clearly didn't have a profound impact on me. Otherwise, I'd be able to just go, yeah, it was this.
Yeah.
So, no, I can't off the top of my head. I might wake up at 4:00 tomorrow morning and remember the answer to that. So,
text me. When you remember, just let me know. Send me a message. It's fine.
But no, I don't. No.
How about you, Eli?
I mean, for me, I'm going to say I got to start off because the music I learned about first that had the swearing that we were always talking about it was Two Live Crew. Okay. So, there was a band, there was a group that was going to go as far as they could to be as offensive as possible and cause a ruckus. And that's what they were doing. So between them and then even like later you heard like stuff like Out Here Brothers and whatnot doing that same kind of idea. That's where the swearing kind of comes in. But other than typical 90s hip hop songs like Snoop Dogg or Dr. Dre, any of that kind of stuff, that's where it became noticeable. But yeah, I'm talking from that time, I'm talking about late 80s and whatnot. I would have to say it was Two Live Crew was the first stuff I heard. What
about you, Dan?
For me, hands down, it was NWA, straight out of Compton.
Yeah,
straight out of Compton. I remember that. But I also remember when I was probably around, I might have been maybe 7, 8 years old. I'm not sure exactly how old. I remember listening to George Michael and that one verse where he says, I don't know what the hell you want. I used to get embarrassed sitting in the car with my mom and that word hell would be said. I don't know why.
Oh, from everything she wants.
I was very like.
Well, I guess because when you
swore, oh no.
When you're a kid, you hear hell as a bad word, right?
So, yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to get embarrassed watching porn with my folks.
Oh, the time ago.
But I got over that real quick.
Don't even want to know, guy. Don't even want to know.
Why?
No. To go back to the first song with cursing, I swear, I was probably 14, 15, and my older brother played for me Pretenders Precious. And it was on a green and white tape cassette. I'll never forget. And he goes, listen to this, because he's a bad influence, right? And then she says, not me, baby. I'm too pretty, so fuck off. And I was like, oh my God, she just cursed. And he thought it was the greatest thing because, and for me, like Glenn said, like it stuck out for me. And I'll never forget that was the first curse word in a song I ever heard.
It's funny,
just to revisit this question, I guess now that you've both mentioned Two Live Crew and NWA, I don't know which one came first. I do recall a presenter on the radio station I was on first dropping Gangsta Gangsta by NWA quite innocently. And, dropping that sort of thing back in 1988 or 89 or whenever that album was out, that stuff got you kicked off, like, permanently from the station. Yeah. And he's just, I've got this album, and he puts it on, it's like, and off it goes. And then next thing you know, it's like, holy what? And there was no delay to air where we were. It was as soon as the first F-bomb dropped, it's like, I'm packing up and going. See you later. I'm done. Wasn't me.
Yeah, right.
But it was a
pause decade.
Yeah. Two Live Crew came first. Okay. Well, I remember, We Want Some Pussy and other songs from Two Live Crew. I've got a EP around here somewhere with that on it.
Yes.
The one where at the start where she goes, "How much for $10? Anything?" That one. So I've got that one around here.
Yeah, that's a classic one.
I want to throw out there too that people always seem to think, and I mean extended mix, with the videos and whatnot, people seem to think that Prince Erotic City has swearing. He does not say the word fuck. He says the word funk. And I just want to put that out there because there always seems to be a dirty version of that song. There ain't no dirty version. The guy was Jehovah's Witness and he barely swore. So
Sam is saying not true. Sam Nation in the chat says not true, and he has it on good authority.
What does Sam Nation say? About what?
He
About
says
the song?
not true.
That Prince didn't swear, or that Prince swore in that song?
That's a good question.
Yeah, he doesn't swear in Erotic City. He doesn't say fuck in the Erotic City.
But he also mentioned, Prince's 1999 album when he first heard it, when he was all of 11 years old. Sam Nation was, that's a lot of stuff to take, information to take in, all these words, eroticism, and all that kind of stuff. He says though Prince did swear, Sheila E. does not.
Okay, well,
how about you, Dan? Do you remember your first swear song?
Yeah, the first time you heard a song that had a curse in it, Dan. Audio Brothers.
Oh, gee, can you guys hear me all right now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, we think you're good, man. You're good.
I don't know what's going on. I use this setup every week, but geez.
I don't know what you said.
To be,
in the chat.
It would have to be something like NWA.
Okay. Yeah.
Fuck the Police or one of those.
Yep. Seems to be a lot of NWA and Two Live Crew and whatnot. Who said it? Who came first? Pause.
Chicken.
No. Who came first between NWA and
Two Live Crew? I believe it was.
I think it was Two Live Crew.
They were like
80.
I think Disco Vinny said Two Live Crew came first.
Did he? Okay, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, it's scrolled off my screen here.
And according to Sam, Prince was a swearing machine up until 2000. Then
I believe you're right. And he did have a song called Pussy Control and Sexy Motherfucker. So it is true. Good point. But I'm just saying in that song specifically, he does not swear. So and I was looking at the CD liner notes 2 weeks ago. I'm like, how come people always say he says fuck in that song? He doesn't say fuck in that song. So
yeah, he does. I just put the lyrics into the chat. Although Mary's going to do it.
What about in terms of the videos? Any songs that you remember the first video you saw with nudity?
Caligula.
Ask Tom. He played one today.
Because today it was for me when
Today on the Retro Mix channel, he showed, what was that? What video was that?
He showed Twilight Zone from
Golden Earring.
Yeah,
Golden Earring.
Oh, that's right. I made another version that didn't have that in that, so I don't know.
Lockpicks home family video.
Family.
I remember flagging that to Extendamix because they didn't believe me that it had nudity in it. I had to go and find the frames to send. It's so short in Twilight Zone. It's like about 10 frames, but there's a woman fully nude. Like that stuff will get you booted from Twitch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time that old Retro Mix was booted from Twitch, right? Easy.
Hopefully he doesn't.
Where's Mike Harding?
Yeah, where is Harding?
He's a pro. So Glenn, you're talking about your. I know I am DJ Task. He's been doing some stuff in real life again. So have you been doing a lot of work out there with people again lately, or is it just fairly new? Or
so I did a Christmas Eve function at the place that I'm currently working at, and then there was a break until about Australia Day, which is the last week of January, and then from then until now, it's been every Saturday. And the same with my Sunday job has been back on since about the same weekend, roughly the end of January. My Sunday job is quite different from my Saturday job. My Sunday job is I'm supporting live bands, and the demographic is my age or even older. And I'm at life level 54, in case you're wondering.
Right. Sure.
So it starts in the afternoon, and it finishes by 8 o'clock because everyone has to be in bed. I don't know who wrote that rule,
Right.
but so. Yeah, I work until really late Saturday night. I get home at 4 a.m. or something, and then I have to be at this other place, which is an hour and a half's drive away by 2 the next afternoon. So I'm pretty destroyed by Monday.
Sure.
And then I come home and do Sunday slow jams or slow jam Sunday, whatever it's called, on Twitch on Sunday night. So,
and do you find that the people, I mean, at this point, I mean, people are comfortable. They don't give a shit anymore. They're just happy to be out doing their thing. There's no concern about COVID, and I won't go into. I don't need to go into details of COVID, but like the attitude in general, people are happy.
That never rates a mention. Neither from the venue nor from any customer or anything. The Saturday venue I work at, it's very young focused, so they were back with reckless abandon from day one. Right? They jam it out every weekend. Sunday, yeah, depends on who we've got on. Yeah, sometimes it's full, sometimes it's not so much. But again, that's never, the COVID thing's not a consideration. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to scan in when you go to these venues using your QR code and put your details in for contract tracing. No one does it at the Saturday venue, like nobody. On the Sunday venue, sometimes people do, sometimes don't. I think it's just off people's radar now.
Gotcha. Now, one of the things that I like to do on the Monday Night Roundtable is a quick little segment called "If You Show Me Yours, I'll Show You Mine." And yeah, that's the idea. That's the kind of facial expression I was looking for. And so what that basically is people want to see your setup. They want to see where you're DJing from. Now,
Too far to scroll, but I know Mary asked for it way earlier at the very
that's
beginning.
Why I'm bringing it up too, because Mary wanted to see it as well. So
yeah.
Can you spin around, Glenn? Can you show us what you're working with or no? Are you good? Are you kind of stationary?
So I'd have to take this camera off. So everyone's going to get motion sick while I do this.
Oh, good.
So, hi. So
I wish
I have a studio come office come IT setup. So if we start over here, this machine here is my main server.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like 20 disk drives in it. IT cupboard there, and then over here is racks and racks of CDs and Mac and turntable and whatever. Oh, there's my helmet. I was going to show you that without notice. More CDs on the wall there. More CDs. This is obviously where we're at. Yep. I got computers over here. So I'm watching the Twitch stream here, and this is where we are. Yep. These screens are currently disconnected because I'm migrating to another machine. And that machine is this big white one here, which is partially set up. So this is probably the worst day to ask me to do a walk around in my office because everything's kind of in flux.
Yeah.
But that's kind of That's kind of it very quickly. And everyone's probably motion sick from me doing that real quick. But look, it's not that exciting. It's a studio built for one. So when we cram 3 or 4 people in here, which I've done before, it's kind of like you're walking over stuff and kicking things around.
So yeah, Chris in the chat saying it's like mission control with all the stuff you got going on there. And Mary is saying what? You got about 10 monitors in there total?
10 monitors.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's close.
You're wrong, Mary. He's only got 9.
So now you have to buy one more.
That's a lot of monitors for
that really is, and it's a nice setup.
Well, yeah. So I got this big stand here. I used to have a 50-inch 4K monitor up on that stand, but it also doubles as my visual DJing or video DJing output. So it's currently sitting in my van. So if I had that there, and I used to stream with that big monitor, we'd have 10.
How many bodies are in the van?
Beg your pardon?
How many bodies do you have in the van?
Well, if I told you that, I'd have to kill you and add to that.
I appreciate you playing along.
What's in the crates?
Yeah.
Which one?
In the crates, Glenn?
Oh, I'll get one. Hang on. Please excuse my rather
butt move?
generous belly.
Coin slap.
I see nothing.
It's off cam now, so you're good.
So what's in here? CD5s. So
Okay.
Oh, nice. I used to have those. Those are great. Those are like you can hold lots of stuff.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Those little bins are cool. I've never seen those before.
Is
Yeah,
everything labeled? Like, do you easily access something if I say, hey, I want you to go grab this? Do you know where it is?
depends what you ask me for, but they're all been digitized, so they're all in one of my RAID towers.
Okay. Okay. How long did it take you to transfer?
I started digitizing things in the 90s, and of course, I did them at what is considered way too low a bit rate now, so probably 160 or 192. I've since revisited that a couple of times, and now anything I get, I digitize full wave. It's an ongoing process. I still get CDs. In fact,
Yeah.
do I have? No, I
Very
don't have
long
any handy.
process.
I don't have any handy, but Ultimix still send me CDs, for example, and so I have to digitize those.
Why don't you just get the MP3s from them?
Beg your pardon?
Why don't you just get the MP3s from them? Why waste your time? They're cheaper
Well,
than getting the MP3.
Well, I'm not wasting my time for one.
I don't mean that like the offense. It's just like
There you go, Eli. You pissed him off.
Yeah, that's it.
No, not at all.
This
No,
is why I don't show up.
We can have the wave versus MP3 discussion until we bore
No,
people
you're right.
to
Yeah,
death.
you're right. You're
No.
actually right. You're right. It makes more sense for you to get the
No,
actual.
we see that every week. We see that every week in the group, Glenn. We don't need it here.
I'm not going to do it.
No, you're
if
right.
you want-
Like, I didn't think about it. You're right. You're right.
There's a group on Facebook called Discogs Lossless Music Group or whatever. If you want to really have that fight, just get in there one day and just mention that, and then just sit back and eat popcorn because oh my god,
They'll chew your ass out.
Actually, you just go in there and say that FLAC and wave are not the same. Like I really got stuck into one guy one day because he was trying to tell me that FLAC was inferior sonically to wave, and he just wasn't having any other opinion. Anyway, that's a rabbit hole. So why do I do everything as wave? Storage is cheap, right?
Yeah, that's right. And I know why you do it. It makes sense what you're saying. Like it's just I'm not in that mindset anymore because I've always been MP3. But if you're someone like yourself who is a collector, you want the actual sound right from the format itself. It makes entirely sense what you're doing. So I apologize.
No, that's fine. And what I do is I have a specific post-rip process that manipulates the sound the way I like it.
Right.
So because, and you know yourself, you could grab 4 CDs that are similar in nature in terms of their music style, and they will be mastered everything from the mud to the sky, right? And it's just infuriating. Yeah. So I've got this process where I rip them and then I put them through DB Power Amp and it changes them all and so forth to a point where they are predictably similar sonically.
Right.
Because there's nothing worse than being at a gig and dropping a track that you've been motoring along and it goes boom,
yeah,
and then it come back up to the next track. So that's part of the reason why I get CDs still, because I'm in control of how it sounds. And B, and the same thing applies. If you get an MP3 from somebody, you don't know how they've mastered it or how they've converted it. They've put it through a process. They may not have touched it, or they may have put it through a brick wall limiter.
Yeah, that's right. It could have been 128 and then turned into a 92 and then turned back to 320. Like you're right. Yeah. With the CD or vinyl, let's just say even, you have full control of how you want to format that and edit it, and that makes entire sense. So,
but even beyond that, there's a lot of CDs, especially from the era from about 2000 to 2009, 2010, where we had the loudness wars, where everything was brick walled to 0 dB.
Right.
So if I rip something from that era, I have to go back and dial that back and put it through Ozone, which is a product by Isotope, to make it sound decent rather than make it sound like the whole thing's being screamed at you.
So how much time do you feel you spend a week doing that with these things? I mean, are you still converting things? Yeah, you obviously are with the Ultimate stuff. How long does that take you to do? I mean, I know my process for what I do takes forever. I can only imagine what you're doing is like 5-6 steps more to have to do that for each compilation, for each track.
As it stands as of yesterday, I have 47,000 tracks that I need to process.
Oh.
that are not in my database. My database or my music collection currently stands at 1.4 million tracks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or 28 terabytes for those who like to talk about data.
That is nuts.
And I have 3 copies of that.
That is crazy. Like,
yeah,
see, there's just so much stuff out there. I mean, I'm not even. I've got tons. Not even close to that. Not even close.
Yeah, but out of those 47,000 tracks, I expect 27,000 of those to be duplicates of existing tracks.
Right.
So they're not going to make it to the catalog. And then there's other deduping that goes on. So out of those, probably 15,000 will get added. That's
when you say
a lot
duplicate, do you mean duplicates or just remixes kind of duplicate?
No, 1-for-1 duplicates that I've already got in my collection already. So there's a whole bunch of issues around that in terms of naming and in terms of it drives me insane. And there's no way to automate that. There are ways to add some shortcuts to decrease the time in that. And there are tools. There are lots of tools, but ultimately, once you put them through all the tools, all the filters, all the processes, you still have to listen to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you have to do the actual work for each track, and that's like I say, you do it one time correctly, you're never gonna have to go back to do it again, right? So
that's right.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. And yeah, so did we sort of answer that question? But Jay was asking, are these all WAV files too? So, or
they're a mishmash. So, as you're well aware, a lot of promotional stuff comes from the labels as MP3s.
Right. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and you can't do anything about it when it comes like that. So.
No, so you've just got to work with what you've got, and some of it you'll put it into spec, and you'll go, "How did this get out of a mastering engineer's studio looking like this?"
Right, exactly.
It makes me cry sometimes. The stuff you get is just like, what the heck here?
It's funny because we live in such a world now where you do an event, most people, I would say the majority of people, especially who don't know sound so well, and even the ones who do know sound so well, are in that mindset, like, just play the song or just play the video. We don't care. Just play it and just get it done and get it over with. When you're someone who really appreciates sound and music, you know what you're producing and what you're putting across. So it's it's interesting where those sounds come from that way. But
I on one level, I know that this is kind of a zero sum game because most venues' sound systems are garbage. Right, they're certainly not audiophile quality. And, people, as you say, they don't care where it comes from. People just go, play it off YouTube.
Right.
Play it off YouTube. Yeah, if I wanted to play something at 112K, I would have just bought it myself.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole rabbit hole that we could talk about ad nauseum. I mean, the outcome's the same, though. I would prefer to not do the garbage in, garbage out thing. I would prefer to have something decent. If it sounds garbage on the venue system, that's on the venue.
Right.
I can stand here and go, well, hand on heart, I know that this sounded good, full frequency, full high fidelity when it started. If it gets processed to hell in the processing and amp chain, nothing I can do about it.
The unfortunate part about that is the guests hearing the music, they never know that.
They
always look back at the DJ and they look at you like, when something sounds garbage, it's why are you doing like that? That's the unfortunate part.
Of course.
And I had a situation recently. I've just gone through upgrading my playout systems. And one of the venue people came to me and said, that's sounding really bright or really harsh. And I'm like, I agree. And so I came home and hooked everything up. And I found that the sound card that I was using was just punching everything out at the top end really hard at the expense of the bottom end. And because I was changing the systems over, I kind of went, well, I'm just going to change the system over anyway, so I'm not going to put much effort into fixing that. And last week I used the new system in the same venue with the same setup, and it sounded much fuller. So, there is some truth into, it's the DJ's fault. It's just that, I don't know. Like it's a zero-sum game, as I said. Ultimately, at the end of the day, a lot of people are drunk when you're playing to them. They're listening to it on a system that wouldn't pass muster in someone's home theater or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
But should I lower my standards because I'm defeatist? No.
do what you've been doing your entire life, and you obviously enjoy doing. So it makes sense, and it's it makes sense to entirely do it like that. So
To answer your original question, though, because we did go down a rabbit hole, and that's my fault. How much time do I spend on that? All of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So listen. One of our esteemed roundtable folks is ready to join us, and so I have to make sure to give him a proper introduction because then he gets mad, and then we never hear the end of it. So. Some of you may know him, Glenn and Dan, the Audio Brothers. I don't know if you know him. He broadcasts every day at noon Eastern time. He's out of Toronto. We like to call him DJ Thomas Hall, but a lot of folks refer to him as Retro Mix Toronto.
Retro Mix.
Without further ado, welcome to our panel. Drinking out of his Wendy's cup yet again.
It's got water in it.
There he is. Everybody say hi to Retro
Mix.
Oh, look, we got some applause for you and everything.
Yay.
So you're
Can you
just
hear me?
because we've been talking. Glenn, do you know Thomas Retro Mix? Have you guys?
Certainly do.
We're friends on Facebook.
That's right.
Hey, mate.
And what about you, Dan, Audio Brothers? Do you know Thomas?
He's frozen.
Oh, no.
He is frozen again. Oh, no.
That's what happened when people meet me for the first time. They're in awe.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, he's moving now. There he is.
Get it close up there, buddy.
It's so weird. Dan and I participate in the Zoom every week, and he's never had this problem.
It's a Mike Harding issue. It's called the Mike Harding effect.
It is the Mike Harding effect. Yeah, Mike.
It is.
Mike's
The Monday night Mike Harding effect.
I heard something about a video I played today. Something I don't know what I heard. I heard something in the background while I was eating my Swiss chalet.
Yeah.
was it good?
I wish people
Twilight
could see
Zone.
what you were doing in the background.
It was okay. When it was first played a couple months ago, I didn't know. It said
All right, can
it
we
was
hear me now?
clean.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
So I played it, and then I obviously went to Mark after and said, "Hey, it's got some a little bit of nudity in it, just like Girls on Film, etc." And the chauffeur, and I said, "Can you fix it?" He's like, "Yes," and he fixed it. He sent it to me. I downloaded it. I put it in my folders, and then today, when I type in Twilight Zone, it shows clean and dirty. So I put in a clean, but it got past me because obviously it was dirty. So I had to go back again, and even the one I downloaded off the site the one that I got sent to me was still dirty. So I went back to the site and downloaded the proper one. I checked it, and it's all clean now. So hopefully nobody noticed it, but.
Well, some people caught it. I missed it. I was actually lurking.
I saw it.
Hey, it's not the end of the world. If I get shut down, it'd be a good vacation for me for a couple of days.
couple of days.
You've been there before.
Yeah, I've been doing this nonstop. I need to take a break eventually. I'm gonna go. Like today was just fun. It was the Chum FM thing that Eli got me on, and it was just fun. It was just fun playing around.
That was good today. It was good. Very good set and a lot of fun stuff. So
Really great show.
Yeah, I think it threw some people off when you were playing the bumpers for Chum FM and whatnot.
Yeah, Mark sent me those and said, "Hey, play these. This will notice. This will really freak out Eli." So, Eli and I both have our own bumpers from that show anyway.
Oh, yeah, I got tons of that stuff. So.
Yeah, I don't play it just because I don't want to piss off the radio station if they find out we're dropping the
They
right.
don't even call themselves Chum FM anymore. So that's why I thought to myself, playing the archives on Saturday, it's really not. It's not the same station anymore. If they were still calling it like that, I probably wouldn't hear it, and I'm sure you wouldn't either. But because now they're called Chum 1045, and it's a whole different brand. So
It's like me using the mix IDs, but again, I asked permission, and no one else is using it. But again, I don't want to piss off anybody, but it was fun.
It's better than me airing the Oscars.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm happy that everybody got to see some side skin there today. Side boobs.
Yeah.
So I do apologize, Twitch, if you were offended by a side boob. I know it's all over the internet. It's it's on your kids' phones. It's everywhere, so it's all good.
I missed it. I'm pissed.
You know
what
the answer to that is, though, Tom, is just put yourself under just chatting and have an inflatable banana, and everything's fine.
Oh, we have an inflatable eggplant.
Well, that works.
Yeah,
but it's the category. If you're on music, you'll get kicked off. If you're under just chatting,
No, I know. I wish, but it got past me. But it's all good.
You'll be fine. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's not the first time. I've played other songs that had it
Inflatable
back.
hot dog.
If it was Mike Harding playing it on your channel, that'd be a different story.
Then
That's
it would
the
be a
issue.
problem. I would have been shut down already.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why if anything happens
Oh.
now, he's going to be one happy camper.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, good, I'm off the hook now.
Hey, all right, it's all good. So you guys like my new setup? I'm in my new office that I kind of made room for me to do shit in here. So
You look
I
like
can
you're
sit comfortably.
You look like you're about to interview somebody like for a job at the FBI.
I am.
Yeah, like are you fluorescent lighting there? Is that fluorescent lighting? Or is that your white light or what is
This
that?
is my cheap ass Amazon cheap ass white light that I got that I use for my photo booth.
Okay, that's cool.
You
But
can't
earlier
see
when he
white
was
lights
on it and the
anymore,
light,
by the way.
when he was on earlier and the light was coming through the window, it looked like natural light was hitting him.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
yeah.
he had that
but-
he had that glowing beauty on him, you know.
Oh, he's got
yeah. Well, now it's dark, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And
the
the light-
Lottery Brothers, do you know Tom? Have you seen Tom before? Did I ask that already? I'm sorry.
He's frozen. I told you he's in awe. He just wants to bask in the ambience.
Is he there? I think he oh maybe he isn't moving. Is he moving?
No, it's
Dan,
like
Dan, if you're there, show us a high five.
Dan, can you control him so he speaks?
I can't. I didn't even do that. That was not me. So you say, "Can you control him?" And now he jumps off.
Well, for
Yeah,
Dan,
he's gone.
for that Dan,
He's back.
we'll give you a
So,
free.
Ben, is
Yeah.
this everything you dreamed it would be and more?
Well, you presume I dreamed of it.
A nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, dreams can be a nightmare. That's right.
What, Glenn, you got any nightmare stories you could tell us about doing gigs?
So I get asked this question a lot, and you got to understand 5% of the gigs you do are really, really good and they stand out.
Yeah.
5% are really, really bad and they stand out. And the 90% in between are just, it's just going to work, doing your job, collecting your money and coming home, right?
Yeah.
So those 10% at the top and the bottom are the ones that people want to know about. So the ones that have interesting stories around them, a lot of them, if you don't understand the context of them or who was involved, you just go, yeah, so. Like I've done gigs for people who would be politely called underworld people, but unless you understand the context of it and everything that happened before and after and those who were involved, it's kind of like, well, yeah, so it was just another gig with some interesting people. But it's like when I think you've had a discussion before where you've done gigs for celebrities or famous people.
Yes.
It's like, well, yeah, okay, they're people, but because of what they do or the way they behave, that kind of, and because who they are, it makes those stories a bit spicier. But for me to tell them on an international call like this, you just go, yeah, so what? So yeah, I have interesting gigs. Sometimes people, in their drunken state want to fight the DJ, and that's fine. I've had a few of those, and you tend to either diffuse them or oblige them, and whatever. Again, context is everything.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
Absolutely. What about you, Audio Brothers? Have you had anybody want to fight you at a gig?
No. But I believe if I went back to DJing, I believe if I went back to DJing now, I'd probably want to fight them.
Dan, how long have you been DJing for?
I am too old to deal with a young. I started doing mixtapes back in the days of tape, the pause, rewind, that kind of stuff. I used to do mobiles and stuff like that for, I can't remember, 90s, 2000s. But I was into music way before that, way before that.
What got you into it? Where'd you get your start? Audio Brothers.
Well, originally I grew up like listening, Can you guys hear me still?
Yep.
No.
I didn't hear the last comment.
So
Say
I grew
again?
up, getting my mother flogging me. So my mother used to play Johnny O'Keefe and all that kind of stuff, flogging that to death every Sunday. Jade Hurley and that. I don't know if you know them. They might be Johnny O'Keefe. You probably do. And then I just got into CD single. Originally it was tape. And then I really got into it mainly because of an Australian DJ, Nick Skitz. He used to do a late night community show before he ever became famous out of Sydney, and it was on at like 3 a.m. I used to sit up and tape. The shows and the tracks, and that sort of led me to a record label in Melbourne, which is called Pro DJ International, run by Jeff Sturr and a few other guys. And from there, it just sort of blew up. I was starting to get into the Euro, the dance labels, Central Station Records, which was huge here in Australia. And from that sort of led me to, like Glenn was saying before, we used to have a lot of community radio. So you'd have one license and they'd let each station do it for like 3 months. And we had a station called Wild FM, which just absolutely blew up. And so they were into sort of the dance Euro. And then from Wild FM, that introduced me to DJs like Alex K, Nick Skitz, stuff like that. And they really just blew my mind. I was hooked. And from there, I just wanted to do more. I ended up doing mobile DJing. Me and my mate used to set up under 18 events ourselves because I just wanted to play. And then from there, eventually I met DJ Task, who I was going to work for a bit. And then one night I was with them at the club, and Task wanted to go to the toilet, so he just threw me on and said, "Here you go for it." So there was, played about 6 songs that night, I think, and that was awesome. And I did one mobile gig for Tim, which I'm surprised he still likes it. But after that point, I decided to go away for a bit. And I'd always DJ'd at home, and I'd always been into making megamix and stuff like that. So I've always been involved somehow. And then I thought I'd jump on Twitch one day, and I just had a look, and then I saw Tim was on because I'd had a look at his Facebook, and I thought, I'll check it out. And from there, Tim and Kobe just kept hassling me, when are you going to get on? When are you going to get on? When are you going to get on? So in the end, I gave in, and I thought, well, I'm doing it every day anyway at home, so I might as well just throw the camera on along.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm sort of into the production side as well. I'm learning production. I mean, mega mixes I'm not worried about, but making tracks and stuff like that. So sort of learning to. I'm primarily into energy, donk, that kind of stuff, but I'm enjoying playing different genres like future house and mixing some top 40 again, because that's always made me a bit nervous because I haven't really done it a lot. But yeah, in a nutshell, really.
So you saw I Am DJ Task, Tim, doing the Twitch thing, and that was kind of what got you into doing Twitch? As a matter of fact, he's going to be on here next week, next Monday evening. We're going to have I Am DJ Task, so
Nice.
we'll get a chance to chat with him as well. But
Brad, welcome our Raiders.
Yeah,
welcome all the Raiders to Mark.
I sort of reconnected with him through that, and I was Tim and Kobe's first mod, so.
Darn.
And Glenn, how did you start with Twitch? What made you make the jump, or what happened?
Jersey jackpot.
Awesome.
That's true.
So I was an early adopter. I've been on Twitch since 2018. Before, in fact, back in that day, the only way to broadcast was on a client built into web browser. There was none of this OBS malarkey. So yeah, I saw all these people having Twitch anniversaries, if that's how you say it, back in April, and I'm like, well, I don't kind of have one of those because I'd been on it sort of spasmodically since 2018. I obviously kicked it up when the lockdowns started because, you know, why not? Everybody else was, so I just jumped on the bandwagon as well, and it was, you know, it was a vertical learning curve. It was certainly different. Things had changed since I first started doing, you know, browser-only streams. Did I answer your question, though?
I mean, the climate's different here in North America, but, you know, I did a gig a couple Fridays ago, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to stream it live on Twitch. Have you guys, Dan, Audio Brothers, or Glenn, have either one of you contemplated doing that? I mean, you guys, like you said, you're doing gigs already, and people are just kind of, you're used to being out in Publix, whereas now, I mean, Toronto's under a complete lockdown, shutdown, if you will. Shutdown as
Ontario.
You know, so getting out there and doing a gig again is weird, but then maybe, you know, everyone was learning how to do gigs on Twitch, and now that some of us are able to get back out there, and I do have a point, I think, you know, like
somewhere in there.
doing sets, doing live gigs, but now streaming that on Twitch.
So I'll speak to mine. I'm not. I don't think Dan's actually doing it live at the moment. So, as I said, I've got two regulars. The Saturday night one, I've not DJ'd. I've not attempted to DJ live because the computer I was using as a playout machine was pretty much maxed out on the software that I was using to play to people in front of me. So to put OBS on that and to get it to stream to Wi-Fi, whatever, would have just killed it. My first week with the new computer was Saturday just gone, and I attempted and failed to live stream that, and that's something on my to-do list this week is to figure out what went wrong. In short, I couldn't get OBS to see any of the sound cards or any of the sound sources that were on the machine. So whatever, I don't know. You know, when you're in the gig, you don't have time to sit there and contemplate what the heck's going on. Either it's binary, it either works or it doesn't. If it doesn't, you drop it. Yeah. So that's what happened. My Sunday gig is a completely different kettle of fish. The guy who runs that has specifically forbidden me to stream it. And his thoughts on that are, and I disagree with this, is that he feels that if people could see it on Twitch, they wouldn't come to his event and pay $30 at the door. Hey, he pays me. So if that's his view, great. So I don't even try. And I'm not going to. And yeah,
and it's an interesting thing because people have questioned that here as well when they have live to air, when you're live on the radio, broadcasting at the club, you're broadcasting the music now on the radio.
Right.
And people would question that people aren't going to want to go to the club then. But the mentality behind it, I think, is you need to get those people thinking that they need to be there.
Right.
So if they can see it, they see the crowd going crazy, you know, they want to be there. They want to be a part of it. They want to be where the action is.
And I'd be happy to have that discussion if he wanted to engage with me on that, but he's just like, no, and move on, right? I'm like, okay, that's fine. I mean, it's his venue, his gig, he's paying me, so that's it, right? I have to be pragmatic about it. Yeah. It's not up for discussion. You know, exactly the same event. You'll see 50% of the people doing this with their phone. You know, they're live streaming it to Facebook or Periscope or wherever, right? And he's not stopping them. So, but okay, like I'm not going to argue with the guy, right? It's his event, and he's paying me to be at his event. So,
yeah, job is a job.
Exactly.
Right.
So, Dan, can you hear me? Okay.
He's having like some
more
technical
issues.
Too bad. I wanted to chat with him too.
The mic.
Can you hear us, Dan?
Mate, I can't believe what's going on with this phone.
It must be a bad pocket or something that's going on right now. Where you are.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
We hear you. It's just a bit of a delay, and then you
Yeah.
kind of get frozen.
Mate, I've never had this drama.
It's like cutting into the guy who does the weather.
Just any Zoom that I've had, I've never had this issue.
So what's the weather, Bob? And like 20 minutes later, it's snowing, but it's actually sunny where you are.
What was the question? What was the question again?
Which one?
Danny, you on Wi-Fi or 4G? And whichever it is, swap to the other.
I'm on Wi-Fi. I might try and turn it off, actually.
Yeah, just ditch it. Daytime, everybody's on their home networks and their work networks.
Right.
I'm on 4G. I've got my Ethernet to 4G router running this because I know that my broadband will be smashed.
So here's a comment that just makes so much sense. Going back to what we were saying, Glenn.
What's that? It's like saying I own CDs when it comes. Yeah, look, I agree. But as I said, I have to be pragmatic. The guy's paying me to be there, and he said no, so no's the answer, right? I'm not going to try and change his mind.
Right.
Yeah. That's just the parameters under which I work, and I'm okay with that. I'm not complaining. Like if I was doing it for free, or if I was doing it for tips or part of the door or something, I would argue with him. But I'm not. I'm getting paid a fixed amount to be there for a certain amount of time. It's like, okay, it's your gig.
So one thing too is that there's been this situation where people say adding music videos when you're at clubs and things like that can kind of ruin it too. But this gentleman here, I'm going to bring him in. He's one to speak on this, that he knows that it doesn't, that it enhances it. And I think that's what the main thing is right there.
He's right.
When you're enhancing the show by doing something different, that's what will draw in more of a crowd.
And Tom and I can attest to that hands down with what Marky's going to say right now. So
turn down your Twitch or your music there, Marky D. Come on now. Jeez.
Well, he's got to get those Freddy mixes, man. He's got to get those Freddy mixes in.
I don't have any Twitch stuff on, but I'm just watching it through StreamYard. All good?
Somebody's watching TV.
Oh, yeah.
Who's watching the Smurfs?
Hang on.
Who's winning the soccer game?
Give her shit, Marky. Come on.
Who's winning the soccer game?
Roll with an iron fist.
Sorry. Soccer game. Is it the soccer game?
Or as they call it, football in Australia.
She's watching.
Who's winning the
No,
rugby?
it's called soccer here.
It is soccer, right? Yeah.
Carolyn's watching 911 Lone Star over there. See?
Oh, it's a good. I gotta watch that.
Problem. Kick her out of the room.
It's a good
spoiler
show.
alert.
Yeah, she was here first. I was downstairs streaming.
Thank you for the raid, Marky D.
Next week, I'm not even going to go on. I just directed everybody straight to your channel because you got Buddha on, right?
Yeah. Next week we got Buddha and I am DJ Task, both
Nice.
from Australia as well.
Nice.
But like you were saying, going back to the question about video at clubs and stuff like that, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom and I, obviously, for 15 years, we did something called the Retro Roadshow, where people would come out, and there's a lot of people who just don't want to dance, and they just want to enjoy the atmosphere of the music videos on the big screen. And the way we had it, especially in Tom's room, we were DJing. The way the layout was is that you had visuals in every corner of this floor. It's amazing. So I mean, yeah, Marky of course will agree that video and visuals are a huge component to any show, and so go for it, Mark.
So what I find is that eventually, in about 5 or 6 years or longer, everybody will be doing video of some sort, even if you're not doing video for like actually playing the music videos of that. You'll be playing something, even if you're playing an ambient or like Lockpick goes on and he's playing a bunch of plays drum and bass, he's playing some jungle videos. I'm not sure if those are the videos, but because the clubs are going to put the screens in and people want the videos and it enhances the actual show, I think what you'll see is a lot more people doing video, even if it's not the video of the song. They'll be playing something.
Who's Dan Mark? Is that your dog?
Yeah, he's running around. That I have no control over.
No, your chops.
But in terms of that, like I have found like early night at the club and stuff. It's a lot more fun because while people are not dancing, it definitely gives them a chance to do something else.
Right.
So something just to stare at. And believe me, when I used to add like a new Lady Gaga video or something like that, you know what I mean? When you play it, people want to watch it. If you add like a new video or something that's a couple weeks old, or even some of the 80s stuff, I've done mobile gigs where people just literally sit there and say like, having that video element just adds so much to it. So if you can incorporate that and be able to mix everything in and be able to, have fun with it and be able to just play a regular night but have the entire visual setup, I mean, you might as well just have the videos. And if someone says, can you do it? You're ready to go.
And especially with the newer music too, you got to remember, I mean, a lot of the people from our demographic who haven't seen a lot of the new music videos or watch stuff on YouTube or Vivo or whatever, when they see it at a party, like, I didn't even know there was a video for this. I didn't know that existed. So it is something different, interactive, in a different, very cool, different kind of way from just hearing the song. So it's just something new. And obviously we've been doing it obviously for a longer time now, but yeah, I completely agree. So
I didn't know there was a video for Feel the Vibe, but Eli Katz tells me he's got one. He just can't figure out how to get it.
Allegedly.
He just can't figure out how to get it off DVD and onto a digital format.
Guy, until I see it, Katz, I'm not going to believe that it's
I don't believe it either.
It's in my locker, so that's fine.
So, Marky D, do you know Glenn McBride? Have you guys raided into each other's channels? Do you follow each other?
I don't know him, but I see the name come up when he requests songs and emails us.
Okay. And Glenn, what about you? Are you familiar with Marky D?
I'm going to have to say no, rather than go, I don't know. But,
right. Have you heard of Extendamix at all, DJ Glenn McBride?
Have I heard of Extendamix? If I'm not if they don't have a plaque in their office somewhere dedicated to me.
Well, Extendamix is
that plug is right there, right behind Marky D there.
That's Marky D.
How's
Extendamix?
How's that Adele video coming, Marky?
The which one?
The one I don't know. The Adele one with the pitch change. At the end.
I think you said the pitch change at the end. What I probably did is I probably cut it off. It's probably a longer version. I probably just cut the ending. I'll just re-cue it. I'll fix it up. I saw the email yesterday. I sent that one to my brother.
Touch us slide too.
I sent you the WAV file before, so you should have it.
If it matches the video, it's a lot easier.
Oh, so many questions I have for you then, but that's for a different time. I didn't realize you were Extendamix. So there you go.
I'm sorry. Just so people know, the DJ in DJ Marky D stands for Don Juan.
I'm not sure about that.
He's not.
Forget the other name.
He napped for 10 minutes.
All right. Here's this.
Hey,
Got
headphones. He's got are you on your laptop?
Mate, a lot of effort, I tell you.
Well, we're glad you did.
Hey, Marky D.
Perfect.
Hey.
So Disco Vinny made a good point in the chat, and it was popped up here on the screen. A lot of clubs are just not kitted out for video. And the other thing I find is selling video as a value add is really tough. People just don't want to do it. And if you haul it along for free or just do it because you want to do it yourself,
don't do it.
They'll go, oh, this is fantastic. But to try and get people to pay a bit more as a value add prior is really tough.
Yeah, for sure. Unless it's incorporated with something that's going on in the venue, and they would have the visuals. Like, I mean, there was a place I used to spin at in Yorkville, rather, here in Toronto, that closed down about a year ago. That it was the visuals were incorporated with the venue, and it came one and one with each other. So yeah, but you're right. Otherwise, to sell screens or LED screens or anything like that, it's just it's not easy.
I'm even talking about mobiles. Like I've done events for people where they're not afraid to think about things out of the box. And I say, great, I'll bring along my VJ rig and the 50-inch screen and the projector and everything else. And they go, no, we don't want that. And I'm like, hang on, but you're quite happy to have the exploding fireworks over here and the llama over there and the camel, but you don't want videos? And they're like, no, they just it's I don't know. If someone's got a way of selling it, I'd love to hear it. Because
I think this is the best way right here, what Disco Vinny said. If you can start doing it when you can get those successful referrals.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I guess I'm behind that curve then.
And not to mention, if they're going to see stuff, especially if you're going to talk to a client and say, "Hey, yeah, we do this. You can check out my channel," then they can see what you do with your music. And obviously, you're selling a little small portfolio of yourself while you're doing your channel. Like, oh yeah, that's cool. They have music videos. Let's do it. So sometimes you just can't. You got to be like I know when you're doing a kids event when you're playing all the current music. You got Pitbull or anybody doing all these abstruse kind of videos. It's kind of tricky to get around that. But I mean. buyer beware when I say that kind. Unless, but usually I think you tend to cater to the 70s and 80s crowd, or like that from the 70s generation, 80s generation, 90s generation, you can get away with it a lot more than playing the newer stuff. But
especially because you got to play WAP, and that's
exactly.
But it might also come down to what the venue might have to invest, whether you're going to bring your own sort of stuff, or if they've got to invest. If they've got to invest, they're probably going to say no.
A lot of these venues have screens already, and they might have just stuff running, or they'll have screens with sport on them. And you go, well, look, can I have one of the screens to run videos on? Oh, no. Oh, okay.
You know what? I've actually done that. I walked into a venue with literally a case and just an HDMI thing. I'm like, just give me the video feed. And next thing you know, you've got them all up there. You put your promos up, your beginning of the night stuff. You're plugging it. You can download flyers. You can put flyers up for songs that don't have videos. And all of a sudden, you got this big promo. And then the DJ that comes in there the following week, they're telling them, they're like, you got to up your game. The guy that was here last week had this whole place, you know what I mean, buzzing with all these visuals. And, we used to play the hockey game until, 9:30, 10 o'clock. And when the game's over, then you flip to a video scene. You have the ability to take over those screens. And even if you're not going to run a video, you have the ability to put a flyer up there or a promo or some kind of text or anything to be able to promote whatever you want to promote.
Right.
And I think one of the greatest things is if you can go to a club, like I remember even before I've seen videos at clubs, I used to go to this one club and they had a little video screen there and they would pop up promotions that were happening at the club, like drink specials and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right?
Oh, Barnett.
What's that?
Barnett and stuff used to have all that, right?
Well, it was
behind the bars they used to have.
Club Minaj that I saw that guy. But
yeah, so Barnett is a system that you would walk in every club and then they would come up and they would promote your nights, but they would basically run their own ads.
They'd run their ads throughout. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good way that if you can incorporate that and tell the client, hey, this is what we can do, show the music videos every once in a while, pop up some ads for you and whatever it is, drink specials or whatever.
I think it's more DJs pushing the video than it is the clubs pushing the video though. Like I think it's the DJ saying, you know what, let me take over that screen. Let me do this. Let me push it. Because if you're already playing it, I'm playing videos 100% of the time. It's just a matter of adding. If I go to a gig that's not a video gig, I just don't plug the wire in. But the music is still off the video.
What kind of length sets are you guys getting? Like I know Glenn's probably a bit of a difference out here because he's a regular at one of his events. But out here in a lot of clubs, it's every couple of hours, every hour there's a different DJ. So do they want to muck around with video?
Bring your mic closer, Dan.
But we don't. So in terms here, I don't see clubs where the DJs are switching to. I mean, I was actually no, that does happen. It does, but it's not as often. Usually, it's the club has its resident DJ for that night, and that's it. Or if there's a guest DJ, the guest DJ is playing for the entire night. So it's not too often. I don't know, guys. Cats, Marky, do we ever see that, Thomas? Like where it's every hour the DJ switching up?
No, not usually.
Not every hour, but I have gone back and forth with DJs who are non-video DJs.
Yeah.
And you throw a logo up and you throw something plain up or something, and it depends how interactive you want to be. If you want to take that experience and just do video when you're doing it, great. If not, you can just run a Tiesto loop or something like that. While the DJ's playing, instead of letting the screen go dark, and you do that. But I know certain clubs will only hire video DJs because that's what they're accustomed to. And now that they've seen it, they don't want to go back, right? So they'll only hire video DJs.
Yeah, no, I mean, the visual platform as a whole, you could do so much with it. Obviously, you've seen what you can do with green screens and technology. I mean, like I say, it's going to be implemented in a very different way when things are normalized, whenever that is. I mean, visuals, it's only going to get bigger and better, but it is going to be up to us to sell it more and make people realize that, hey, when you want to have your club again, your club's never going to be what it was before. You want to bring it to at least into 2018 or 2015, even though 2021, bring it into a new world where it's more interactive that way. So, it's, again, a lot of people also don't want to dance necessarily anymore. As much as people want to go out and dance now, you know, a lot of people just don't want to dance; they just want to enjoy the scenery. So you could do so many things with that.
So go visit a garden if you want to visit the scenery.
Right. You can do anything with that. I mean, look at I don't know if you've ever been to, guys in Toronto here, the Avenue nightclub at, what is it, Steele's and Dufferin. I mean, they just turned that entire venue. All their walls are into scenery. You could do, of course, you could do music videos, but it's all like scenery. It's all moving scenery. So it's very cool that, you know, that's existing, because you could change the venue just like that. You flick it and you can just change the venue from one thing to another thing. So it's great.
I'm not sure if you can see that. I'm sharing a flyer just from my mates.
Yeah, we'll get that
Geek.
up. Hold up. There you go.
There you go.
So that's fairly typical of what Dan's talking about. You know, this is only like a 5-hour period at this club, and there's actually more DJs than there are hours.
Yeah.
Right. And these guys come in with a USB, they play, you know, 14 songs, bang, 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 and then they go. And that's pretty typical here in Melbourne.
That girl doesn't look drunk at all.
No.
Yeah. And don't forget, Aussies are tight asses. So, you know, if they don't want to spend money, they're not going to spend it, especially
That's
some
it.
of the club owners.
So there you go. I've seen worse than that. I've seen, you know, a 6-hour club, you know, stacked with 12 DJs or more, right? They come in and do 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Just a
What's
waste
the
of
point?
time.
I don't understand that, though. Why have so many different DJs for such a short time?
Because, you know, economics, you know, they pay the DJ $50 and a couple of drinks. Whereas if you pay a headliner, you might have to pay $600 or $700 for them.
Don't forget the exposure.
Oh, and the exposure,
Oh,
yummy,
the exposure.
tasty
Don't
exposure.
forget that exposure.
My kid loves exposure, especially with sauce.
Yeah.
Pause.
Expose pays the bills.
Oh, pays the bills, yes. My landlord loves being paid in exposure.
Pause.
I think Impressions DJ once got arrested for exposure in public.
We don't talk about that, right?
No.
It's still an ongoing investigation. We can't talk about that.
It wasn't an arrest. It was a warning.
Oh,
yeah.
Finny Vegas, we should be glad you're not in here.
He's exposing his arms on a regular basis.
He's got his guns out.
Oh, man. So what do you guys got coming up? Tell us about your streams. When are you on?
I mean, they're doing events again. You guys are actually doing full events, right?
Yeah, so we do events in front of, you know, real bodies.
Yeah.
Well, I do anyway. Dan, I don't think he does. But yeah, so my schedules had to sort of change to accommodate that. So Friday night, my time, we have just a party night. So it's kind of like anything goes. I might say we're doing a theme, or we might do 80s or 90s, but it usually degenerates into fairly interesting chat that kind of drives what goes on. And it's 100% music videos, for which I have Marky D to thank. You know, but yeah, we'll end up playing some crazy stuff like David Hasselhoff or Christopher Lee or whatever, right? It just kind of ends up being weird. Saturday I'm in front of live people, so I don't do that. And this is all local Australian time, so you know, again, we're 15 or 16 hours ahead of most of you people.
Yep.
And then Sunday night, really late, like at 11 o'clock, I do Slow Jam Sunday, and that's just as it suggests. It's all sort of, you know, 80 to 100 BPM, you know, lovey, chilly music with the occasional misstep. Might throw a slow rock track in there as well, or a David Hasselhoff track. There's a theme here.
Can we talk about David Hasselhoff just for a second?
Let's.
I mean, in the United States, I mean, we know him as, you know, he is what he is, but in parts of Europe, like you say, he's like this bona fide rock star. Like, is he like a big...
Yeah, Japan, wasn't he? Wasn't he big in Japan?
He was huge in Japan. Look,
Like
he's not as big here as he is in Europe.
Okay.
It's a bit of a running gag on my stream because one of my regulars is really into him, and he used to send me links, you know, to all these weird Hasselhoff stuff. And then there was the Kickstarter that happened last year, which produced a track by Q-Stack and Hasselhoff, and it's an awesome track. So all of that has sort of come together to, you know, there's a dedicated segment on my show, and some of our regulars are kind of cringy about it. I'm like, that just makes it even better.
Sure.
Because I just stir them up about it. Hey, it's Hasselhoff time. And of course, Extendamix was good enough to put the theme track from Baywatch up. So of course
Window
that gets a run.
I played it on Saturday.
If I could find, he does a cool cover of "Hooked on a Feeling." If I could ever find that'd be cool.
No,
I've got it. I've got it.
You have the video?
Yeah.
So send me the link and I'll post it.
Yeah, just send me your email, and I'll pop it onto
Don't
WeTransfer.
forget Glenn's mid-set Olivia Newton-John marathons every now and then as well. We can't forget those.
Well, we're up to 25 songs in a row as the record.
wow. Did they
Yeah.
find her husband yet? Is it too soon?
Well, no, I don't know. Maybe he's alive in Mexico. Maybe he's on the moon. We don't know.
I think she looks like she's moved on.
I'm sure by now I would assume she has, but didn't he just up and disappear? Right?
Who, Hoff?
No. Why?
No,
Olivia
No.
Newton-John.
Matt.
What was
what's
his
his name? Matt. Someone. Matt.
Olivia
Latif.
Newton-John's husband. That was his name.
Disco Vinny would know.
Yeah, Disco Vinny would know.
Well, Vinny, where
She's got that track with her daughter now that she just put
That's
out.
right. Yeah. He played
Is that a daughter or a Barbie doll? I
That's
wasn't
her
sure.
That's her daughter. Yeah.
The daughter,
A
yeah.
lot of plastic.
Hang on, who are we talking about now?
Living
Olivia
OMG.
Newton-John.
Oh yeah, that's her daughter. What's her name? Chloe.
Yeah. Chloe.
What wasn't his
Yeah, there's-
name? Matt something? Matt.
Was it Matt? I can't remember.
So here's the question: Is you say
Mary
you've done
would know.
25? Disco Vinny is saying he's done 6 hours of Olivia.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He's a big Living in John thing.
I think you guys are going to have a little competition there with that.
I,
Yeah, but
I
they
blame.
all-
Who can,
They
do,
all
who
Mary.
can do Olivia longer?
You guys, you got the three of you guys should have a John off.
Yeah, John off. That just sounds a bit awkward.
It does. It does. It can be awkward in more ways than one.
You know, I blame Mary. Blame Mary for all of the Olivia Newton-John on Twitch. It's all her fault.
All of it?
So let me ask another question: Xanadu or Grease? If you had to pick one,
Ooh.
and Audio Brothers, you go first.
I'd have to say Grease, I think.
Okay. All right. Len?
Just like that.
Oh, are we talking about the music or the movie?
Oh, geez.
I say
Yeah,
as
that's
a
a-
whole.
Both.
Well, I choose Xanadu musically because it's got electric light orchestra,
Oh, yes.
Sure.
Yes.
whereas Grease, nothing against the songs in it. I don't know. They just don't hit me in the face as hard as the ones from Xanadu do.
Right.
Pause.
Pause. Tom came on camera there pretty quickly. I think he wants to answer that one too. I don't know.
Tom, do you have a preference?
He likes
Actually, I haven't seen Xanadu in like maybe ever or 30 years, but I just downloaded it recently and I have it, so I have to watch it. I do want to watch it.
classic. It's a classic movie.
Yeah, I like actually, you know what? I'd say I like the music better from Xanadu than because I played a million times, You're the one I want, ooh, and all that shit at weddings and stuff.
They're two entirely different movies. That's just
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, and they're both both up there, and they're standard. They're both cheese as shit. Well, not Xanadu as much.
Watch it. Disco Vinny's gonna have a hard time with you.
No, I'm not.
Don't offend Xanadu in the slightest.
No, I'm not. I haven't seen it, so I can't say it's shit or not.
True.
So I do want to watch it. I remember it from like when I was like 8 years old, but I haven't seen it since. And I when we talked about it, I downloaded it, so I will watch it. And I will check it out.
It's cotton candy for the eyes.
You haven't seen it since you were 8 years old?
I can't remember when I watched it.
I for one, have never seen it at all. Oh, I just got an
Seen it
email
what?
from Disco Vinny. I'm off his raid train. How's that?
Don't.
I got a text and I'm on his raid train, so we're good. We're good.
There's a swap.
It's like that the one with Depeche Mode, but not tonight. That movie, Modern Girls. I've been looking for it. I got it. I want to watch it. I haven't seen it since that for like forever.
And thanks, DJ Scrappa. Yeah, it's John Easterling. That's his name. Her husband.
Oh, yes. Thank you for that.
Yeah. I don't even know what Xanadu is about.
No,
I don't think
Oh, Xanadu.
roller skating.
Ask me.
Roller
Do I,
skating.
need,
Yeah,
do I need to like drop some acid and watch it? Like I just need to,
I'm sure it couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
But to
Okay,
go
cool.
back and answer that question again, but from a point of view of people requesting stuff
Oh yeah.
at a live gig, I never get asked for Xanadu at a live gig from any of us.
Yeah, same.
But you'll always get asked for the Grease Megamix, or people maybe pick a song out of Grease that they like.
Yeah,
but there's only one or two that they ask for. But I've never had anyone ask for Xanadu or any of the other songs from the movie. So
It's probably a neat thing.
Attaboy, Vinny
We'll
Vegas.
include them for going forward. If next time I do a Retro Roadshow or I do the Boom event, I'm going to play fucking Xanadu or Twisted Fate, and I'm going to see what happens.
You're right. It may go off like, oh my god, I can't believe that guy's playing it because we've never heard it in so long. Or people will be like, what the fuck is this guy playing?
It's 3 minutes of my time. The crowd's not going anywhere. If you drop it at 10:30, they're going nowhere. They're not going to leave. Within 3 minutes. I play the song. I'll try it out. I play it all the time. I like it. It's
on Twitch. On Twitch, it's a very popular song. So
do one person.
Well, Mary, I know Mary's a big thing. So
Mary introduced me to it more.
Yeah, Mary's a diehard Olivia Newton-John fan, and Vinny. So that's if I had to say, if somebody said to me, "Tell me one thing you know about Mary and one thing you know about Disco Vinny," I'd say Olivia Newton-John. That's the thing. So
I have the emoji on my thing. So
right, there it is.
The first thing I think about Mary is insomnia. And then probably Olivia Newton-John.
Well, she's smart. She has it down to an art, like Marky D. They have it down to an art. They sleep for 20 minutes at a time, and they get back. Although I guess Marky sleeps at night, but Mary
took a nice cat nap today.
She sleeps for like 30 minutes, gets up 30 minutes. Like she's got it down to an art.
I don't know how she does it. I really don't. I mean, I've slept for 8 hours the last 2 nights, and I feel great. Before that, felt like shit.
Yeah. A lot of cocaine where I come from.
She's young at heart. She's just young and her mind.
But we talked about this before. You really only need, like, I remember watching an episode of Seinfeld, and Kramer only took like 10-minute naps all the time, and
I can't do that.
And it worked. I mean, people could do it. I
feel worse.
And he wakes up with his internal clock. It's just. And he's
talking about cheese, ABBA. Now, ABBA has been part of my daily weekends clubbing. Every single Friday, Saturday, Thursday, I played ABBA. We played, like, ABBA was huge in the early 90s, mid 90s, and still is. Remember Eli? Come walking in.
It also had a resurgence because the ABBA teams started coming out.
Yeah.
There was a whole ABBA mania. And then also, what was it? Was it Mamma Mia that came out? And I think there's a whole bunch of things that made ABBA very popular again. And then, of course, Cher made it popular again, too. And so it's that's the thing. But ABBA will always go down as one of those big acts, So
yeah,
Glenn, are you
not sick of it either? I've been playing. I played Dancing Queen a million times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't play it regularly on the show. I don't think I've ever played it on the Twitch show.
No, never.
Maybe once or twice, but not really. It just never comes up in my. No one requests it, and I don't think about it.
Right.
Which is I'm fine with. If someone asks for it, I'll play it. If someone doesn't, it's just another song that you forget about. And that's
right. For sure.
All right, Rose. Make a note. Private message him now. Tomorrow.
Request noted.
Yeah.
Glenn, what are you playing more? Are you playing Gimme Gimme, or are you playing Dancing Queen more?
Where are we talking?
I never played Gimme Gimme
in the club, not on.
If I had a choice, I'll play. What's my favorite? Super Trooper. I love that track.
And Craig G.
So, a bit of context about this question. It's a loaded question. And the reason for that is here in Australia, there's a fellow by the name of Sergeant Slick who remixed Gimme Gimme, firstly as a bootleg, and then it got officially released. And every DJ in Australia felt that they were obliged to play this to death, right? And I actually don't like it. I prefer the Hot Tracks remix to the one that he did. So to go back and answer your question, for the last 5 months, I've actually avoided playing Gimme Gimme in preference to anything else but people will come up and ask for it. They go, "Oh, can you play the Melbourne version of Gimme Gimme?" And I just roll my eyes and go, "Oh, can it please die?" It's not that good.
Well, speaking of ABBA and whatnot, and Craig G made it over here, Revolution Radio. He was talking about SOS. I'm just going to throw it out there. Vinny sent it to me today. Marky D, get on this ASAP if you want a really good ABBA remix. Disco Vinny has an incredible remix of SOS from ABBA that I think you Staples will like. So just speaking of ABBA, I just thought I'd throw it out there while we're chatting about it. But yeah,
well, talking about in regards to like Super Trooper, it takes me somewhere. It's one of those songs. Like, dude, I'll be honest. I don't know why I've been getting emotional. Some songs I played during the show.
Really? Eh?
I had my headphones on. I'm listening to it full blast, and it makes me want to cry. It just takes me somewhere. Some songs I've been playing.
I noticed the box of Kleenex. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than the song. But yeah, Super Trooper just takes me to another space.
Well, it must mean something to you from something, you know.
Honestly, it was in grade 2 when I was in grade 2 or 3 at this grade school, and the teacher was playing ABBA over and over. Like when we had little mini breaks, she had a record player. She put on ABBA, and that's how I got to know who ABBA was.
There you go.
But the song just takes. It doesn't give me an experience. It just takes me somewhere. And
like music box dancer.
To what?
Like music box dancer.
Music box dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that takes me back to my days. So I used to play it like a million times. Just sit there and rock in my chair. That's a good song. That's a good song.
Disco Vinny has a great remix of that one too. But it's like
really?
It's like a Euro version of it. It's amazing.
Have you ever heard of the band Fozzy?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Fozzy is a band that's led by Chris Jericho, former WWE wrestler guy. Anyway, Fozzy, when they started out, they're a hard rock band. They were a cover band, and they do a kick-ass cover of SOS by ABBA. True story.
Really?
I'm going to play ABBA tomorrow. I'm playing ABBA tomorrow. I'm going to play Super Trooper. What year is Super Trooper? 77?
80.
Doesn't matter. Add it in anyways, guys.
Like
just do it.
Throw it in the mix.
Like 83.
I'm going to play it tomorrow.
Play it.
Right.
Marky D, do we have an extended version of it or just the regular,
Oh, I'm sure Disco Vinny has one no matter what.
What song is it? Super Trooper?
Yeah.
How about Iron Maiden, The Trooper? Do you have that? Play that for me.
There's an extended on the site.
I'm playing it tomorrow.
But get that SOS, I'm telling you. That's
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
You heard it right here.
Everybody's going to comment tomorrow if you don't play it.
Yeah. What time are you playing it? Do you know?
We got a good crowd.
Super Troopers from 89. Oh, so from 80s. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was around 80, 83.
I could play 70s. I play with whatever I want to play.
It was the end of the disco or era, I guess you want to call it that. So,
wow. We got Revolution Radio said. Craig says you should play SOS.
Well, that's the one I just told Marky about. I'm sure Vinny will send it to him anyway.
I could play both.
You could play.
Maybe when you
all have it tomorrow, I guarantee you'll have a lot of happy people.
I'll play all ABBA. No,
all ABBA for 3 hours. Can you do it?
All ABBA set.
The Chum FM's coming back tomorrow again, eh?
Oh yes, great.
Let's
you
do
play,
it.
You can play your Tim Deluxe. You can play. Oh, you played Tim Deluxe today. So, sorry, what's the one? Tom Novi.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that one.
You gotta get that video for Gypsy Men.
Isn't it on the site?
I don't know if Marky has it. I know there's definitely a video for it. I know that.
Yeah, what, Barbara Bateri or something?
Yeah, you have that video for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I may have it. I don't know. I may have it. I didn't even look at it. I wanted to get in and get out. I didn't want to do it too long.
That was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
With the extended mix versions, because I don't play a lot of that stuff, is it just the videos you're making, or are you doing the remixes as well?
No, the video is basically.
Really?
Oh,
Marky, the pros guy.
I like 3 fries and a Frosty.
Speed it up, slow it down, or you
froze
just make the
just Mark, you froze when you said the video is basically, and then you froze.
The video is basically the video intact. If it's a remix, you got to speed it up or add a backbeat. But the video itself is intact. If not, you just add an extended to it. Right? You just add
lots of B-roll.
Extended beats. You take B-roll from within the video and you paste it on the front end and make the long version.
So you're just basically using the standard and then just doing intro, outro.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't do too many. I've done a couple of re-drums, and I did a Tiny Young Cannibals mix, which is on my YouTube, which I really enjoy doing. But it turned out all right.
So Dan, Audio Brothers, when do you stream? Because we talked about Glenn's schedule, and we're getting close to the top of the
my
hour.
main thing is Friday Night Energy here at 9. Oh, I've been starting a bit earlier, so 8:30, 9 o'clock on a Friday night, Australian Eastern Daylight Time. But last week I streamed 5 times because I hadn't been on for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I try and do Tuesdays and Friday night energy, but Tuesdays is usually mixed up between top 40, future house, anything really. But you know, sometimes on the Friday night energy, I'll go from 140 to 170. I'll end in some UK hardcore. But yeah, fun stuff.
Is there 2 Audio Brothers?
Nah, long story. So originally, years and years ago, it was me and a mate, and you know, we used to do some music stuff together. And I came up with the name, and we just sort of faded out. So I just kept it and used it as an alias for mainly sort of producing stuff. Not so much for streaming; it was more for just an alias for producing.
Okay. So you said Tuesday night. So basically tonight for you, correct?
Yeah. If I get my shit together, yeah.
You got all day. You'll be fine.
I don't know what I'll be streaming because I've had some drive problems because I put the drive on last week and then I got on the CDJs and it took some shit off. So, yeah, but I'm working on it.
Backup. That's why it's key, guy.
Yeah, well, I've got 3 drives with the same stuff on. So I've got 2 and then I've got a backup just in case it all goes to shit. But I don't use any software. I just use the CDJ 900 Nexuses and my DJ M850.
I know some people were asking earlier in the chat. They wanted you to show it.
Hang on. I'll uncover it.
Yes.
Pause.
Hey, impressions. Don't forget, I had that subject I want to discuss later.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
So I've got
Good setup.
turntables on either side, and then I've got the DJ M850K, the CDJ 900 Nexus, and then I've got a Remix 1000 and a Remix 500 up the top. Sort of effects units.
Nice.
You don't use any green screens, right?
No. I got an overlay. Originally, I was doing my own stuff, and then Scotty Mack contacted me, who's another Australian DJ, and he said he'll do some overlays for me, and they turned out pretty awesome. So,
awesome.
Yeah, he's done most of my stuff for me.
And Glenn, you don't do any green screens, right? You're just straight up video, and then you've got yourself in the corner, kind of a thing, right?
That's right. So I forced
and the drafts.
Well, the drafts are something else, but yeah. So yeah, when I'm doing videos, which is 90% of my streams, I have it forced to
green screens, right? You're just straight up video. And
somebody turn down their Twitch, please.
I don't know what's going on there. So I have it forced to 4:5 aspect ratio because I wanted to stack some stuff on the right hand side of the screen. So yeah, I've got my video, my camera at the top right, and a couple of whatever's going on the right hand side. Yeah, the giraffes. If I do a lunchtime stream, I will probably not use the videos. I'll use Mixmeister or something, and of course, there's no visuals for that. So one day I was pretty bored, and I thought, what am I going to put on the screen? And I found the giraffe cam from the local zoo, and it's kind of been a sort of a self-perpetuating meme ever since. You know, because when I'm on and the giraffe cam's on, the giraffes bugger off. So there's this empty. This is like it's yard. It's supposed to be a giraffe cam, and there's almost no giraffes. So it's a bit of a joke.
Oh, okay.
Although we are seeing people on the ski slopes again.
Say again?
We are seeing people on his ski slope cam again. There was no one there for a while. They're starting to come back.
Oh, was it me?
Yeah, you froze just now. I just realized that you froze again for a second. Everybody's having freezing issues today.
It's a technical Monday / Tuesday here.
I think it's a pretty cool day out there. So
we've had some pretty shit weather here, so it's probably understandable. Pissing and rain last night.
It's been pretty ugly here too. So.
All right, so there's some music in the background, but with that being said, who's playing that?
That Frozen?
Tom.
Yeah.
Tom doing that? No, he's not. Who's doing
That's
that?
Madonna.
Is that Don Juan, Marky D?
I don't know because his mic is muted there, so I don't know if
Not
it was Mark's.
It was not me, you know.
I had that song loaded, but I'm not playing it.
They're loaded, all right.
I'm gonna call Thomas on that one. Go on.
Yeah. So DJ Glenn McBride and Dan, the Audio Brothers, folks in the chat, most of the folks I'm sure are here for you anyway. But if you don't follow these two gentlemen here on the Twitch, please make sure that you do. Check them out when they do streams. Again, Dan Audio Brothers, if you're going live tonight, so what? How many hours from now? If you go live tonight,
if I go live, it could be anywhere between 6 and 8 hours, but probably more close to 6 hours.
Okay. So it's noon your time now, right? On Tuesday?
It is midday right now, yep. So normally in the afternoon, I'll do anywhere between 4 and 7 o'clock. So it could be as soon as 4 hours.
Okay. Very cool. Well, listen, you guys, Glenn, it was good chatting with you finally. I mean, it's always nice to see both of you in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here, hanging out on other Monday nights, watching and stuff like that. But yeah, I really enjoyed actually seeing you and talking to you versus just typing a chat. So
yeah, me too, minus the issues.
Yeah, no worries, man. It happens, and we'll bring you back again.
GM's always on cam, but he never chats.
Who's that?
GM. He's always on camera, but he never chats. The guy.
I didn't know we were calling him GM now. I'm sorry.
No, he can't. He can't chat half the time. That's the problem.
Yeah.
He's a busy boy. Well, both of you, thank you for joining.
He shares a wall with his daughter's room, so you know.
That wall right there. Oh, you can't see it.
Start banging on the wall.
The wall behind the rack here is where my daughter's bedroom is, and I go on pretty late sometimes, like 2 a.m. and stuff like that. And people, I don't get it. People want to sleep. They get all gnarly at me.
I'm on to 3 a.m. sometimes, and I don't really care what my daughter thinks because she's 18, so she can suck it up. But she complains about the clicking on the buttons.
Wow.
That's what she not so much music or anything, the clicking of the cue button.
Clicking the buttons now.
It's like mice in the walls.
All right.
I just tell her payback's a bitch, so it is what it is.
That's it. All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it very much. And
thanks for having us.
Oh, dude, anytime. Seriously. Were
there any questions from the peanut gallery we didn't answer?
Which peanut gallery? Oh.
I think Mary answered all the questions for you, Glenn.
Oh, good.
She knows how to mod. She mods everything and anything. So
except me. Except me. She dumped Mary. Sorry, Mary. I'm going to throw you under the bus. Mary dumped me.
She dumped you.
That's gonna be a whole talk. Oh, there. That guy.
No, I'm only playing. She's.
I
she
know.
does enough.
I pay Mary in Tim Tams.
No, can't do it. Not you. Not you. You. No. Can't do
Much love, Mary.
You guys are the best. All right, Glenn and Dan Audio Brothers. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Chatting with you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Appreciate
hanging.
it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
See you guys on the other side.
Take care, Dan. Take care, Glenn.
Well, good night, good morning, good day, afternoon.
What do I have to do here? Do I have to click Leave Studio? Yeah, that's the one.
That's in the red X. There you go.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, Dan.
Cheers.
Later. Have a good afternoon, brother.
Oh, look at that.
Disco
Comes back.
Vinny.
Oh, he's pissed.
Sure.
Disco Vinny is mad.
Disco Vinny. Oh, there's a song for that. Hang on.
Look, right. We can just mute his mic anyway, right?
We could.
What's up, Vinny? How are you, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Lockpick says the screen just got 85% sec here.
85. I want to know why it didn't get 90%. Like why couldn't he hit that? What could he have done, Lockpick, to make it 90% sex?
I'm surprised it was a double digit, so I'm happy.
I'm glad it wasn't 69%.
85% is still a B plus. That's fine.
Yeah.
Take it.
Dan, Lockpick says, Dan, you're bringing it down by 15%.
Oh, that's mean. I love it.
Ban Lockpick from the channel.
This not you. Wait.
So listen. I'm going to try and rally here. Before we get off on our tangents and get silly, I think, Dan, do we want to talk about the next round of the DJ battle?
Well, I don't know if there's any point because I think one of the gentlemen that's going to lose is on the screen right now. I mean, sorry. Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah. Retro Mix tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, will be representing Depeche Mode. He's going to be going up. What's that?
You needed to look that up?
No, I was pausing for effect, man. Pausing for. He's going up against the one and only.
He was pausing for the echo that wasn't turned on.
That's right. He's going up against the one and only Bracktoon, who's going to be representing The
The
Cure.
Cure.
Yeah, dress all black.
I'm a dick.
9 p.m. That's going to be on Bracktoon's channel, so make sure you guys lock it in there. And then next week we have Erasure versus the Smiths.
Who?
Vince
Erasure.
Magtino.
Erasure.
Erasure.
Like Uranus.
Like you raise your hand.
I'm
Why
sorry.
did I say it weird?
I think it's Erasure.
Hey, Dan, you know how I'm going to win
Erasure.
tomorrow?
Erasure. Erasure.
Erasure.
Erasure. I like Erasure.
I like Erasure too.
Erasure.
You
Erasure.
raise your hand.
I like that.
You raise your hand. Like you
Dan?
just don't care.
Yeah, guy.
I'm going to win tomorrow. You know why? Because I'm going to wear my Pac-Man jacket.
Guy, really? Where did you?
yes.
That is
One of the best. One of the best things I ever bought at Winners.
I love that, but it needs rhinestones, but I love it.
Guy, that is amazing. I want
It's
that.
a great jacket.
If I can fit in it.
I'm a big Pac-Man fan. I love that, man.
I
That's
just see what I
awesome.
just thought I saw. How many months pregnant are you, Tom?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, shit. Wear the jacket with the flashing glasses.
Huh?
Wear the jacket with your flashing glasses that you have. You know, those light up glasses?
Yeah, I have those too. But I got to
No,
be able
that's
to
what I'm
get the
saying.
song.
Wear them together.
You can
Where did you
crank-
get
can
that
find it
jacket?
at Winners.
Eli got it at Winners.
I got
I
it at
was
Winners.
winning.
He's stinky.
Yeah.
So, Thomas, you're ready for tomorrow? You're ready to go?
No.
Dog.
No. We're going to kick things off on Bracktoon. I don't know if he's going to have, because I think he's doing it on his show, so I don't know if he's going to have the countdown going at the beginning there. So,
Well, I got to test. I like to test before we go on. So he hasn't reached out to me. I haven't heard.
You've been eating your
yeah, we'll touch base with him hopefully tonight or first
Because I'd
thing
like to go
tomorrow.
at least half an hour, play a song, do the mic thing, make sure it didn't like happen last week with Staples and his shitty mic.
One song barely, and I had technical issues. So go scratch.
Hey, listen, if anybody has a right to complain, it's the guy
Slow
who
here.
lost when Jeff Moyer had tech issues at the beginning and
Oh,
still
true.
took it. How did that happen? Come on.
The dog yawns nonstop when he's alone.
Chat, y'all hate me, y'all cheated me.
It's the lights. I don't know what it is.
Crazy.
Bright lights.
He doesn't stop.
What's his breath smell like,
let's,
Kenny?
let's count how many yawns he does in an hour. A minute.
You rate it on the squid scale, and it's a rainy day today. It's about 6 squid, so it's pretty bad.
How many yawns a minute? Let's see.
I sent the link to this right here. This what's the word I'm looking for? I sent Bracktoon the link, so if he's around, hopefully he'll jump in.
He's afraid to come in.
Trash talking begins.
He
But
should
tomorrow, when the show starts, I don't think there's going to be a countdown because he might not be using the StreamYard paid version here.
Right.
So no countdown at the beginning, Thomas.
And what time is that at tomorrow?
Oh, guy. Just missing. 9 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. So 9 p.m. Eastern at Bracktoon. For those who don't know, it's Bractune.
Yeah.
6 p.m. their time on the West Coast, which would also, if I'm just to kind of keep in tune with our guest from this evening, would be shit.
Don't even try.
8 a.m. in Australia on Wednesday.
You let all the Aussies go.
They had to go. That was it.
I know. I wanted to talk about Xanadu, and you didn't let me in.
Oh, you have to be part of the roundtable. You're just
Xanadu and ABBA, and I'm sitting here. It's like, really?
You're part of the after show.
So let's ask Disco Vinny.
The afterthought.
Xanadu or Greece? Which one do you like better, guy?
Oh, Xanadu.
Of course.
Really, eh?
Really?
Don't hate me for not seeing it. I've said this before.
I've never seen it. I've never seen
No,
it.
get me wrong. The movie Grease, of course, the movie Grease is amazing. It's one of the best Broadway brought to screen. It's perfect. It's fun. It's great. It's goofy, and of course, it's a bunch of 30-year-olds being in high school, which is the most ridiculous thing. But Xanadu itself, especially now that I know Matt Latanzi, and I've learned about a lot of the behind the scenes, and actually saw some script rewrites. The poor thing got put through. The movie that you saw is not the movie that was supposed to be made, and it actually would have been a much cooler movie. It's just, unfortunately, with all the changes and rewrites and cuts, it ended up being something that didn't make sense. And Michael Beck was terrible. He should have been recasted. But the music and the dance numbers and the Tubes number where they bring the 40s and the 80s together, oh my God, that's one of the best movie musical moments ever. So yeah, Xanadu by far, but the story itself, the final movie, terrible.
Interesting.
Never seen the movie up until about a month and a half ago. I had never even played the song.
And the Olivia Newton-John and Gene Kelly dance scene, that's just magic too. She was so nervous about dancing with him. And Gene Kelly on roller skates. Are you kidding me? Seriously, it's like, yeah.
But there's the interesting thing there is that the fact that, as we were saying before, so many requests come in for the Grease tracks and never really getting those Xanadu tracks. It's,
see, my peeps are like Mary. I get the club that I did play at before COVID all the time. Xanadu was played all night, every night.
Really?
I'd have a night without Xanadu, and it was usually waiting till the majority were there, and everybody is screaming and singing and waving their hands. It's like, it was hugely popular. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never ever played music from Greece. At weddings maybe, but no, Xanadu all over it. Must be Seattle.
Must be.
So
you did a great set last night, man. That was what, 6.5 hours you did last night?
Yeah, almost.
Have you gone longer than that before with the streaming?
Well, not with streaming. At my regular gig, I've done 9 to 10 hours.
But that was like, I don't think I've ever seen you ever go that long with the show. Pretty good.
Yeah, it was fun. It was great.
Freddie was having a good time in there last night.
Yeah, he was. He was cracking jokes, mostly at my expense, but yeah.
I never seen him so lively in the chat before. It was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty monotone. He doesn't usually get too excited. I missed it, but he doesn't usually get too up, right?
He did last night, but I think the alcohol helped.
Oh yeah, he was drinking those shops and.
He didn't read my message today when I asked him for the next 5 digital visions. Just radio silence.
That's because he had a headache. The bourbon beach schnapps.
So every Monday I ask for 5. That's my deal with them, right? So I know that Retro Mix is going to be looking in the morning. What digital visions did you add? And the only one that's there is Pointer Sisters Fire. Although Dan, go do a search on the site for Boom Boom Boom. Let's go back to my room. I added it this week, but hit it.
Tom Flockasino.
I heard something about this. I think Buddha sent me a message, and I was like, "What is going on?" Yeah, he sent me a message about that guy.
We put it in, but I don't think we got it from Freddie. I can't remember. It just showed up on my computer. I don't remember where I got it from.
I didn't give it to you.
No, it wasn't you. It I think we had it from a long time ago, or it might have came from scratch. But I know that's Dan's.
I need to see your copy because
hands down one of my favorite
video copies in the video I have. That would be nice.
No. We went and did the video on our own. I just had the audio, had the WAV file, and then Buddha went and did the video. But because of the whole thing with Freddie last week, I just decided we would just bury that file. So I'm telling Impressions to go look for it.
Yeah, I just grabbed it just now.
Go get it.
And I got it.
So the only one I'm waiting on is Pointer Sisters Fire, but I happen to like the Disco Vinny mix better. But
well, thank you. I do too. That guy does some great stuff. That stupid Disco Vinny.
He does.
Emery was asking in the chat the guest for next week. Yes, we have DJ Buddha and we have I Am DJ Test next week. So
Aussies.
Toronto and Aussie in the house.
Two fantastic gentlemen right there.
There are.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to that.
All right, so while I have Vinny here, those ones that you put in the drop, if you want to send over the versions of those, I'll take them.
Welcome to our business meeting, everybody.
I love it. Mark is all business.
Yeah, welcome to our Zoom call.
Every time I call Vinny, he's having dinner, so I chat with him on it. Chat with him on here.
He's a popular guy. He's always
Vinny, you say you're always eating dinner here too, man. You eat dinner quite often there. What's going on?
No, I actually don't eat very much at all. It's the problem. I'm always streaming shit. And it's like, I need to start eating. It's like, it's midnight. Well, I guess I'm having dinner at midnight.
Vinny, are you able to do that? Are you able to do those 2 mixes I asked you for?
Oh, so you asked me a question or are you asking Vinny a question?
Vinny.
Which 2?
We're doing a lyric for the Peeble Bryson. Can you do an extended? Can you extend it for that?
Yeah, it's on my desktop right now. I'm working on it.
And I love that Stevie Wonder, even though it's a ballad. I think it would fit.
Which Peeble Bryson?
That's also on my desktop as well.
Peeble Bryson.
If ever you're in my arms again.
Yeah,
Yes.
somebody requested that, and I was like,
It's going to be a tearjerker for me because
Oh, yeah.
one of my boyfriends I broke up with in 1983, I rode a bus listening to that song the whole way back to school and crying my eyes out. If ever you're in my arms again.
I had that track on my top 100 show that I needed to do, and I was like, damn, there's no video
You know
for
what?
it.
Can I ask a cheesy question out of everybody that's here right now? Because Vinny brings up a good point. Like, you're talking about that song, Vinny, when you broke up with that gentleman and you wept and all that.
He wasn't a gentleman, but go ahead.
Well, that's yeah. I don't want to know.
Listen, I apologized.
Right. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Going around the group here, is there a song from growing up, like relationship wise, that reminds you of a breakup with somebody? Or I know it's kind of lame question, but I can do that. It's my channel. Fuck it.
What's the question?
I don't remember. The question was, what cookie are you eating?
Your burrito has lasted a long time, sir.
What's the question?
No, the question was, can you correlate? Can you
correlate?
Thank you. A song to a breakup.
Oh, yeah. I got many, but sure.
Well,
You guys go
I'm going around the horn. I want everyone to give me one song.
Yeah, something recent there, Eli.
Fuck, Tom. No, Tom, give us a song. Come on.
No, I want to hear Eli's.
No, I'm eating a cookie right now. Go, you guys go ahead.
Pause. Cookie. Audio Brother says Wigfield close to you. Okay. Yeah, what song reminds you of a breakup?
I have three.
Audio Brothers is still here. You should put him back in.
Pause.
Pretty good cookie.
Pause. Eli, give us a song for a breakup.
Pretenders, I'll stand by you.
Nice.
Oh,
that's a good one. What about you, Dan?
I don't even know. I know it was a song from back in grade 7, grade 8.
Okay.
You keep me hanging on, Kim Wilde. See, Glenn's still here too. You shooed them out of the room, and they're both still here.
I didn't shoo them out. You know what? If I bring him back on, I'm kicking you out. How about them apples?
No, I want to talk to them about Xanadu. I was some real Aussies.
Who else? Who else has Marky D? Don
I don't
Juan.
have one. I don't have one.
Oh, Revolution Radio. That's a good one. Oh,
good one.
That's a sad video too.
Okay, are we talking now? You're talking like the ultimate breakup song?
No, a song you specifically
right. Okay, yeah.
Connect with a breakup in your life.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be a breakup song necessarily.
Closing time too.
Okay. Don Juan, Marky D, do you have one?
No, I don't have one.
Come on.
No.
How long have you been married, Marky D?
I'm not.
You're not married?
No.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought they kept saying that was your wife in the background.
Probably is.
Soon to be.
So yeah, maybe.
Oh well.
I got a song for Marky D. It's Bon Jovi, "Living in Sin."
Oh.
I'm kidding. Please, I've been divorced twice. Who am I going to? I'm not going to.
I tell you that Marky D likes the other song that the People Bryce and I played 2 songs over and over during that breakup. The other one was "Hard Habit to Break" by Chicago.
Chicago, yes.
Yes.
Classic.
I'm doing an hour Chicago next week.
Yeah. Are you?
When?
Yeah, for there's a raid train going on Wednesday, I think it is.
Yes.
Right, Thomas?
I was
the tribute artist, yeah.
I did in my band.
You know what? I never get invited to this tribute one. I want to get invited to this tribute one.
I was going to do Chicago and you took it from me.
What's that?
I was going to do Chicago and you took it from me. I was like, damn, somebody
what
got
do you mean?
Chicago already.
Everybody else was filled in on the tribute show. What are you talking about?
Your dancer has my emote up there. Chicago. Yeah. No, I can't wait to hear it though.
Everybody had their I was like one of the last people to pick. I was going to do Pet Shop Boys again, but
I think it's when you first have mine. I hadn't picked yet. My name was on there, but I hadn't picked yet. But it's okay. I'm excited to do Jackson Brown. I've always wanted to do Jackson.
Yeah, see, you had Jackson Brown on the list before I even picked.
Oh well, I'm delirious. Whatever.
I want in on one of these artist tribute ones.
Where did you come up with Jackson Brown though? Like, what made you say, "Hey, you know what, Jackson Brown, that's happening"?
I just wanted to do something that wasn't something that everybody else is doing. You know, like it seems like somebody's always doing Depeche Mode or ABBA or something that's, you know.
You could have done Olivia Newton-John.
There you go.
Pause on that for sure.
There we go.
That's easy.
Mind if I mention it, Staples? I kind of have to now that I said
No,
it.
go for it.
So you're going to be like, what are you going to say? No?
Ooh, Mary, I will do that. Mary, I will do that.
You don't mind if I take over and announce it, right, Staples?
No, do it. Take control. It's all good.
All right. So we have 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll let people know times Eastern. 1 p.m. Eastern is I'm kicking things off with Genesis. DJ Sonic Boom, Billy Joel. Eduardo Diaz is Pet Shop Boys. BB Joy is going to be doing Michael Jackson. DJ Marco from Philly, Janet Jackson, Retro Mix, Toronto. Will be hitting up New Order. DJ Ken 408, Tupac. My DJ Dan, Depeche Mode. Disco Vinny, Jackson Brown. I can't read this name. Is that DLL and Diesco? Red Hot Chili Peppers. DJ Bomba, Madonna. And closing it off, DJ Africano, Luther Vandross, and Whitney Houston.
You said Genesis before you said Chicago. What is it?
Well,
yeah, he changed his mind.
I changed it. Yeah. Okay.
Disco Vinny.
Yes.
And that's on May 12th.
Question for you: are you able to do Freddie G a remix type of remix for Joy Division? Love Will Tear Us Apart.
Probably has one.
I can remix anything that I want to do. So yeah. I mean, I can do whatever. I don't know the song honestly. That's not ringing a bell. It must be a Euro song.
No way.
No, it's before New Order. Before New Order became New Order, they were known as Joy Division.
You never played on your new wave show there, Vinny?
No, I don't. I'm not familiar with that one.
Big song. Big track.
I don't know all the new wave. I just know.
Tom, I'm gonna throw 2 redrums in your drop. Tell me if you want them. I can just do them tonight.
But
this is like it's like a poker game.
Send it to me, Tom, and I'll take a look at it.
I'm gonna play it just a quick version of a quick thing right now of it, and then you can let me know if you know it. You might know it. All right, ready?
This is the most exciting thing we've ever done.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Back, Eli.
So exciting.
I needed a water.
Good to see you all. Good to see you.
Hoping on the next one, Marky D, can you ask Mike Harding to sing "Boom Boom Boom"? Come back to my room to me. That's the next song I want him to sing.
He'll make that into a ringtone for you if you want.
Ooh, yeah.
Or a mantra.
I want Mike Harding to be singing it though.
Hard.
I'll do it.
You ready? I'm just have to do a stupid commercial. Okay, here we go.
Do you want to play it for my thing? Oh yeah. Here. Tom, here. Tom. I'll make it better. Tom, I'll make it better for you. Here, I'll make it better for you. It's going to sound better.
Yeah. Well, so far, it sounds like The Cure.
Here, listen to this one. Here you go. It's going to sound better.
Oh, a little better. He wrote this before he hung himself.
Oh, God.
No, I'm making that up. I don't know.
Oh, yes. I know that.
Figured you do that.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
I don't recognize the artist name. I don't recognize Joy Division. I definitely know the song. Yeah.
All right, Tom. I threw three redrums in your drop. Tell me which one you like, and I'll do it for you.
Checking them right now as we.
I mean, listen. Since we're playing songs, and you know,
I'll go fish.
Great song.
In my room, just Mike Harding and me, and it will always be free.
Wowzers.
Crazy.
All right.
Jam right there.
Mike Harding, I love you. Nice.
Kid Ballistic, I sent you the link. Click it.
What's going on, Kid Ballistic? Guy, get in here.
Bring him in.
Guy.
Bring him in.
Do it.
Mark, I got to pick one. Mark, you want me to pick one?
Yeah, I'm not going to do all three. Just pick one.
All right, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
DJ Grizz, what's up?
Talk about something interesting for the people watching. They don't care about our remixing.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a round table.
Yeah, this is a
rectangle table.
It's like a Seinfeld episode. It's about nothing.
Yeah, this is beyond nothing.
This is it.
So let's
go.
Huh?
This is the show. This is it.
Hey, so should I ask my question now?
Yeah, what's your question?
Well, dude, I was saying earlier, I was even hinting and saying, hey, Bracktoon is not going to have an opening timer. You're up, guy.
Wait, before you do, Grizz, I sent you the link. Hop in. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
No, so another DJ that we all know, I don't need to name names. It's nothing bad, but he mentioned that, why do DJs have to have a timer at the beginning of their show?
Yeah.
What's the purpose? It's not like they're important. And I wanted to counter that and say the reason why I do it is because I can know right away if I'm having issues. If I go live and I have static on my show or something's not right, I have to stop the show. I'd rather just listen and have a background, and I can, because it happened to me yesterday. I started the show off. It was today or yesterday, and right away I had some issues, static, and I had stopped the show, and I came right back on again. So that's the main reason why I do it.
And it also gives people some time, to tune in. They get the notification. Sometimes those notifications like 30 or 40 seconds later. Gives them some time, So whatever, who gives a shit?
Most all of the stats out there show that you don't get. It takes between 10 to 30 minutes for you to get your actual viewers in.
Right.
So, especially for me, I'm doing a theme. It's like I don't necessarily want people to miss the things at the beginning because they were good too.
Yeah.
So countdown gives people time to arrive, and I chat with them, and so by the time we start the actual show, they're there, and it does show it. I mean, in 10 minutes, it's always weird how it's 2, 4, 7, then all of a sudden 16, 20. It's like, okay, there they are. Fine.
The numbers don't mean anything.
I'm using the 5-minute timer. I won't go 10 minutes anymore. 5 minutes is enough. I found a song from True Romance, the Hans Zimmer one. That that movie with Christian Slater and Arquette. Love that song. I can play. It's an hour long. I can play it forever. But I just play that in the background, and because I used to do it where there was nothing, just a timer and nothing. People are like, you can't hear anything. Well, there's nothing to be heard. Now I have something. I can listen to the show, test it out, see if anything's
never good enough. It's never good enough for anybody. Who gives a shit?
No one's complaining.
I put little things together that match the theme or that match the style. Like on my chill set, it's K-Tel commercials, and they absolutely love seeing these old K-Tel commercials.
Yeah.
And 80s night, it's old 80s TV stuff and Knight Rider, and so.
Tom, didn't you used to show something like video games or something like that?
I used to, but I found 2 of them that I like right now, and I'm just using them. It says open, come in. It's nice 5-minute background. I'd like to get one customized, and I'll do that eventually. Like Vinny's right. I'll probably make one for the nooner. I'll make one for Sundays. I'll make one for Sundays and Wednesdays and during the week.
So other than Lockpick, I'm curious in the chat there.
Low-key puke.
Anybody in the chat that does not like the timer that says, oh, this is terrible? Or more so, do you ever come onto a channel, you see the timer, and you're like, I have 4 minutes. I'll come back later on.
Start the poll.
You know what? If you're gonna raid someone and they have a timer, it's horrible. So usually I try to preview the channel in advance to make sure that like I've raided into J or I've raided into impressions, and you get the
like yesterday
the warning message. You're like,
But the reason why is because if I know you're raiding into me and I don't have a timer, what am I supposed to be doing? Just start the show, start playing music?
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm ready. I want to get the raid in so we can, like these guys said, you start announcing and tell them what's going on.
When you see the raid come in, that's when you can address it. But in the meantime, like I usually try to get a few minutes for that same reason. Like I've done shows where, like Driss K's the first one there, or Enforcer, and they're like, your sound's off. So I like reboot and come back before everybody kind of picks up on it. The last thing you want to do is get a raid or something, and then
it's just blank. Che,
I've done it before where I start the raid and the raid comes in and I have the timer going and counts down to 3, 2, 1, 0. No raid yet, so I have to back up the timer.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
I don't do that.
You just get on there and start talking and say, "Well, we're waiting. There's some people coming here anytime soon."
I just play. I just
talk to the people that are already there.
Because you're
gonna
get your regular followers who are probably gonna come regardless of the raid. Yeah. And then you also have people who are coming from the raid that know you're being raided that come before the raid comes, right? Just to kind of make sure. And then, your mods kind of check out both. Like Mary will come in and say, raid coming in like 2 minutes. And she'll just make sure, are you going live? Are you live? Okay, good. He's live. And then, at least you get the.
I just make the countdown part of the show. It's just this part where I don't have to be there yet. I can be getting makeup on or a costume on or something on, but the show has got something that entertains them, and they start chatting and talking about it as well, and just saying hello. So it's just, again, it's that thing to get them time to get in. Like several people have said, okay, I'm on now. I'm going to go get my drink. I'm going to get some popcorn, and now I'm ready to watch.
See, speaking of the disco soul raid train, and hello, Grizz. Well, I'm not trying to ignore you. What I like to do for the soul raid train is I play the opening to the Soul Train show.
Yep.
And I just keep it on a loop, and then when I know the raiders are coming over, I'll turn up the volume, and then boom, we're off to the races. Once the raiders, because I fucking made the effort. I want people to see what I'm doing, and I want them to see the train,
Grizz.
and then we can get started. There we go.
Yep. That's for Grizz.
What's up, Grizz? How are you?
Doing okay. How are you guys tonight?
What's going on, Ron?
Good to see you.
Howdy. Good
So
to be
for those
seen
who
by
don't know, this is Le DJ Grizz.
Damn, you're much better looking than your brother.
Let Grizz.
Yes, there was a big conversation about how the "la" came into the name back on Saturday night. So
I had to ask, because I thought it was LED Grizz, and I thought maybe I was the idiot. No offense to Tom in that case, but
I call him LED Grizz. That's my name for him.
I thought his name was LED Grizz at first. I'm like, wait, maybe Tom is onto something here. But I thought to myself, the way he writes it in his name is very L-E, le, and Tom speaks French. He knows French. DJ Grizz. So to me, it made sense. I just had to ask the question to know.
If it's LED Grizz, where's the J fall into? Like you can't miss the J. It's not LED J Grizz.
Tom sees things a very different way from everybody else, though.
Well, is it Grizz? Is it Le?
no, it's always been DJ Grizz, but my handle on my emails and things like that have always been Le DJ Grizz, which ties into a buddy of mine, a high school joke that we had going.
Okay.
You figure virtual Mike would know that.
LED DJ Grizz. Okay.
Yeah. My buddy was known as Le Benz, and I was known as Le Grizz. So I just put the DJ in the middle.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. I just from the get-go, I'm like, it's Le DJ Grizz. Fuck it.
I'm not saying it wrong, Mary. That's how I say it for him. That's my way of saying it. LED Grizz. I just like it better.
He does his own thing.
The J's silent. It's like yogging. The J is silent.
Yeah.
Marky D, you're Alice in the Brady Bunch right now.
Say what?
You mean Sam the Butcher? What?
Which makes me Jan. I don't. No, now I'm out.
There you go. That makes more sense.
Ron, DJ Marky D sent me some Joy Division extended mixes, so I'm going to pick one and then he'll make a video out of it.
I don't have extended mixes, but I have.
No, he does. He's going to make it.
Okay, because I got a video for every Joy Division song that was ever made.
And back to the meeting.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Fuck this meeting.
You don't have to say. I've got it written down. I will get the FLAC version of it. I'll make something. But if you have a video source that's really good, you can always send that to me. I mean, because I can find them, but a lot of times your video sources are cleaner. So
that would come from Marky D then.
Yeah.
Good.
No, but he I sent him a couple redrums. If there's one he likes, so just do it.
Yeah, but I wanted a digital visual.
He's such a slave driver, that Marky D.
Can't say that, Vinny.
You know what? We just need like one or two good mixable versions, right? So if there's already a redrum, it's already done. Get Disco Vinny to work on something that doesn't have redrums, like all these unique songs that he's coming up with, right?
Right.
What is Victor saying? Is Shadow Play video? Is that
That's a song by Joy Division.
Oh, okay.
It was also covered by the Killers.
Mark, for any music videos that don't have videos, what would it take to just get a loop of, not even a loop, just like a 4 or 5 minute video of Victor Dancer dancing for a music video?
The Victor Dancer visual.
You guys can do it yourself. I can't do it.
He's going to do exactly like Staples would do. It again, Staples.
I'll do it.
You guys can do it yourself. I cannot associate random images with videos. It's a regular song. I mean, listen. I would love to take every Michael Jackson song that's 100% B-roll and just run it under every track that he never did, but Sony's not going to like that. So
I'll check that out, Mary. Quite contrary.
I don't know how Victor can do this for hours on end. I just did it twice really quick, and I'm fucking
You're tired. Those arms get very tired after a second.
In all fairness, he doesn't go side to side. He goes up and down.
Hey, so guys, let's talk to Grizz here because he's never been on the show,
We're going to have him as an actual guest and interview coming up.
He's an actual guest. We wanted him on the show. DJ Grizz actually works with me with my company, but we've known each other back at the Phoenix days when he used to come up and see me, make requests. He actually, I think, gave me an album one time. Was it you who gave me the record?
Push up or something?
Something. You gave me something.
Oh, yeah, probably you wanted a 12-inch remix of "Let Your Backbone Slide." I brought 12 copies back from Ireland one time.
Yeah. So Grizz and I worked together. He's when I was at the Phoenix and I left, he took over. He's worked at all the clubs that I did with Liberty Group for many years. When I do the Boom events, he's with me. He's my co-guy with me every time we do it. And Eli comes by too sometimes.
I just pop by and say hi.
But what?
I just pop by to say hi.
Yeah, you come by and I offered to you like, hey, you want to spin a little bit? Feel free. Blah blah blah. But it's all good. But Grizz has been with me for a long, long time. His brother is also on the show. Prussians knows him very well because they're both
unfortunately
very much into the DJ association here in Canada.
Ah,
right. CDJA.
Yes.
Right.
The CPDJA.
Okay.
Quiet.
Big fucking deal.
One of those is a 4-letter word.
And Jason, all Cowboys matter. They need to end it. They need to end it.
We need to end it for the Cowboys?
End it for the horses. I'm just joking.
Man, don't you know horses are expensive?
I know.
Way more expensive than warehouses full of gear.
They cost more by the hour, I heard.
Hi, Jason.
How's it going?
Good,
Jason.
So Le DJ Grizz will be in don't take the wrong way. We're going to focus on him for an hour, an official guest on Monday, May the 17th.
Does he have that much to say for an hour?
Oh yeah.
No, Tom does all my talking for me anyways.
I don't
Tom
know.
will talk for you. Yes.
Did you just say Tom does the talking for you?
Right.
I hate when people are controlling like that.
Right up
I can't stand when people control shit like that. I get it.
Just kidding, Tom.
I know you are. It's all good. Asshole.
Oh.
He wasn't joking. I love it.
Well, this is why I like Lockpick, because he just says they are cheap at truck stops. Oh, sorry, he said horses. That's funny.
Horses.
So anyway, yeah, Grizz, I'm excited to have you as a guest where we can BS with you for a full hour. And I hope after this little experience, you're still willing to come back and do that with us.
Probably not.
Frankly, just as someone just finished saying, I really don't know what I have to say for an hour. Probably like 5 minutes and you could be done with me.
We'll pull it out.
Questions. We'll ask questions, keep you engaged.
Sure.
I'm going to ask questions right now that I can't ask then.
What is your breakup song memory?
Oh, I put it in the chat. No doubt.
Don't speak.
Yeah, don't speak. Yeah.
That just makes me think of Bullets Over Broadway. Don't speak. No, don't speak.
Guy, can you give me the dirt on your brother? Give me the give me the dirt on my brother. Yeah, I want to know. I want to be able to call him and just say, dude, and just put him in his place.
Got nothing I can share with you right this second, but give me some time to think about it.
If you're just tuning in now, why? Just wanted to say that to everybody who's watching.
Or Z,
why?
Or Z, or X, whatever letter you want to pick. It's more exciting.
R.
Yeah.
You know, just throwing it out there.
So Dan, let's talk about your New Wave battle yet again. Just give it another plug.
Why?
Ooh. Excuse me.
Who's that? Somebody's vibrator is going.
Vinny.
Mike Harding, settle down.
Oof. Poor Mike Harding. He got scared away. I told him to do
Poor Mike Harding.
He's probably doing an event somewhere tonight.
Listen, shout out to Mike Harding, and I'll tell you why. Because he recently did a drive-by for a 96-year-old WWW2 war veteran.
That's right.
During the height of COVID in Toronto area. And he not only did he make the local news, but Blog TO, if you follow that channel or that page on Facebook, they also were there videoing, and Mike got some free exposure from that too. So
he also did the Well, I think he got exposure because of that he was DJing for the people who were lined up to get vaccines.
Yes.
Yeah, you got some
Yeah.
exposure there too.
Yeah,
You got exposed, all right.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's very cool that you did that.
I called him last night. He didn't even know about it. I'm like, dude, you're all over Facebook. Get in there.
Yeah.
That's
He
cool.
did.
I mean, it's great because what he's got, that mobile thing, he can just show up anywhere and just start playing tunes like a Dickie D. He can just start like serving ice cream. You can,
awesome.
You start serving ice cream, it's even better.
Yeah.
Dickie D, Disco Vinny, Dickie D is what it's like a local ice cream guy, rides a bike with the bells. They call him Dickie D in the Canada area.
I don't know if they even exist anymore. Do they exist still?
Oh yeah, we still got him here.
But is it still Dickie D?
Yeah. Kids chase him down the street. Dickie D, Dickie D.
No way. They actually still
The image of kids yelling Dickie D just is kind of scary.
Yeah, it's a good ice cream guy.
Dickie D.
Marky D.
RSU.
Marky D, is that what you're saying?
What was the yellow one? Does anybody remember the yellow one?
Which one was the yellow one?
It was just like a Dickie D, but it was a yellow, and it was
what they serve.
Same thing. It was ice cream, but instead of it being the Dickie D, it was another company.
Don't know how you could not laugh when you say that.
Right. Run after the Dickie D.
Oh my God.
So impressions, I have a question for you.
I got an answer for you.
You live in Oakville, but it's quite bright with daylight behind you there. So you want to elaborate on how those spotlights work with your
Here we go. It sounds like a rehashed conversation.
Yeah, you guys are on this thing till 3 a.m. I just waiting for some positive code and I'm going to bed. But I feel like I need to hear
I do
that
have the
part.
answer for it though. Everybody thinks I'm in Oakville, but really, I'm in Australia, which is why I'm upside down. It's daylight.
Notice no changes falling out of his pockets.
Good day, impressions. Good day.
That's freaky, man. That was freaky.
So a few weeks ago, we thought it was a green screen. You're like, look, the pot lights work, making us potentially believe that it was a.
I think he can control the pot lights. Right. It's pretty cool. You can do that.
Right. So my question was, that's quite the room there, except that it's almost 11 o'clock at night and it's still daylight.
I'll tell you what, Marky. Next week, I'll go in nice and close, and I'll actually play the piano for everybody. I will do that.
Yeah, I look forward to
that. All right, what?
Who just said bullshit?
Can you play my orca on the piano?
I'll play a nice.
Play my orca on the piano. Is that what you just asked them?
Candlelight remix.
Can you tinkle my ivories?
You play Heaven. You can play your Heaven and Candlelight.
You can play the Candlelight mix of DHT while you're at it.
Dan,
that's right. I tickle the ivories every night. By the way, Disco Vinny. Yeah, what's going on?
Thank you.
Dan, can you play the slow song to the theme to the Incredible Hulk?
Play Xanadu. Play Xanadu for Mary.
Yeah, I'll play Xanadu. I don't even know the song.
Vinny, I gotta ask you: do you actually have do you have a Starbucks in your house?
No, but it's my morning routine with the dog. We walk to Starbucks, and then I just refill it all day long.
Oh, with coffee.
Yeah.
Did you know downstairs that Retro Mix has a Wendy's?
Coffee, tequila, whatever works, whatever's close.
I like you always have a Starbucks. I'm like, you must have a Starbucks in your house.
It's like Tom with Wendy's.
I wish I did.
He's in Seattle. They're all over the place.
Thomas eats a Baconator every night.
We have nothing left here. We have no Starbucks left here.
At Trish LA tonight.
You can smell it from here.
Oh man, how did this happen?
Yes.
Now we are.
How did this happen?
Oh, Marky's in between. Marky's the creamy sandwich right now between the grizzles.
I'm telling you right now, if that face pops up, I'm booting him out.
Ooh, excuse me.
Telling you right now.
Brewster, that damn dog. What did you eat?
Uh-oh.
That's it. That's it. Fuck off. I'm out
now.
So this is Don and this is his brother. These are brothers. These
now,
middle finger.
Now, Dan, now do the cup trick. Now do the cup trick where you move the grizzles around.
That's it.
That's right.
Whatever cup you pick, it loses.
Eli, I got to move you too so I can be as far away from that fucking guy as possible.
Go for it. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
I thought you guys were friends.
Hey, now I'm on top of the middle finger.
Friends, let's call it that. Sure.
Not
Again, how are you people watching this?
So the Grizz brothers, what are your first names? Both it's
Ron and Don.
Ron and Don. Okay.
Like
Well,
Ron
nice
and
to
Tom.
meet you guys.
Like Hockey Night in Canada.
It's like Dick and Dan.
Ron, who's older? You or Don?
Don's older than I am.
Don's older. Who's DJ
Don
longer?
just had a birthday.
See, now you
Yes,
should
he did. Happy birthday, Don.
Related.
Finally, someone had a birthday.
You should have everybody guess.
No, it was Jay Online's birthday yesterday.
I know.
Was it his birthday too? Because I know he was streaming for.
It was Jay's birthday yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, Jay's birthday. Yeah.
So who came up with the name first?
I believe that would go to me.
So he just copies you.
Fucking biter.
Well, it just kind of just comes natural. We got a cousin that also plays guitar, blues in the city, and also goes by Grizz as well. So it just sort of morphed into the last name being shortened to Grizz.
Is it your name or is it short for Grizzly Bear or something?
No, it's short for Grizz Brook.
Ah, okay.
Who is DJing longer? You said.
Oh, he was on before me. He used to have the 1200s hooked up in his bedroom, throwing out jams back in the 80s and stuff like that. And he was playing his style of music, and I was playing my style of music.
So I might know the answer. Who can drink more beer?
Oh, I know that answer.
He can, hands down.
As he sips.
Yeah.
Don just plays Lady in Red over and over and over and over again.
He did quite the damage at Oktoberfest in Munich. He was a champ.
Don, say hello. Unmute your mic, Don.
How are you, boys? How's everybody?
Mute your mic, guy. Just mute your mic.
So Don and Ron, are you both friends with Dan in real life, or is it
tic-tac-toe of DJs right here?
I only hang out with Dan when Chuck's is open. That's it.
That's it. Chuck's is where it's at, guy.
And Chuck's is where it's at. Fucking
what is
chicken
Chuck?
Chicken wings and Steins. That's it.
Oh, okay.
And I only know Dan from Twitch World here. I'm obviously just know Eli and Tom.
Sorry to hear that.
What are you talking about?
Three of these guys were in my groomsmen.
Oh yeah, I was a groomsman, wasn't I?
Yes,
Yeah, Eli had the best comment of the whole wedding. It was at the rehearsal.
Yeah, what did I say? Oh, it was that's right.
Cats is always a bridesmaid. Never.
What did I say? Yeah, I said something really funny that night.
What was it? What was the line?
Yeah, what was the line? It was really funny.
Oh,
I think it was
the line was
hell or something. Or
no. Okay.
What was it?
Eli, the line was when there was more bridesmaids than there was groomsmen.
Oh, I said that was my last Saturday night.
And then the guy said, well, there's two bridesmaids to the one groom. You said, oh, it sounds like my night last night.
That's my night last Saturday.
Yeah,
but
and
the guy was a minister. The guy was like
yeah, and you said that in the Catholic Church.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I just something.
Oh, Catholic Church is fine. They don't care.
Catholic.
You just go to confession.
You just go apologize for it later.
Go to confession.
I did 35 Hail Marys. It was fine. 35 Hail Mary.
And you say those Hail Marys on your knees.
I did 35. 35 Mary. Quite.
That's the least of the Catholic Church's problems, right there.
They've done worse.
I enjoyed the Catholic Church. I like being an altar boy. It was fun.
That's a whole other documentary.
And that was
it is. I'll tell you. Nothing better than rectory wine. Rectory wine is a good evening.
You say rectory?
Rectory wine. Good evening.
That was a fun time. Other than the entrances coming into our songs. What do we get?
Ron, I think you're echoing maybe.
Somebody has their Twitch down now.
What's he eating? The cane?
He's eating his wedding cake.
He's eating the wedding cake.
He's still got the wedding cake there. His wedding cake was deep and delicious.
Is that deep and delicious?
I think it's deep and delicious at the wedding.
Yeah, the other songs at Tom's wedding were interesting. They got all messed up.
I shouldn't talk. I just had 2 cookies, so I shouldn't talk.
Somebody has their Twitch thing open as well. They got turned down.
Say that? What?
There's an echo from somebody.
I think it's the Dawn. I'm gonna take the X square over here. I'm going to say it's Don. Oh wait, he's muted though. He's
No,
muted.
I have my mic muted, so it's not me.
It's not. Well, it might be.
Is that muted? Is it still going?
Yeah.
There, it stopped.
No,
It is Ron. It was you guys. Sorry.
it was Ron or Don.
Ron. I muted Ron.
It stopped. Yeah, now he's like, what? What did I do?
Let's see. Don just left. Oh no, he's still there. Who just left?
Staples always around 11 o'clock there. His internet always cuts. I don't know what he does there.
No, I just
Someone's watching porn. That's why.
I'm using my phone. Who's in the top left in my screen? Oh, that's Jason from Calgary.
Yeah, I'll move you closer to him.
That is me.
Oh,
how are you, sir? Long time no talk.
Vinny's on.
It has been several years, hasn't it?
You doing okay, or what's the story like?
Yeah, you know, as well as any of us, considering the times.
That's good.
Tom, is that
Good to hear.
Fucking cake guy.
Well, one of my next trips will be out to Calgary. I'll give you a ring when I'm out there, and I'll get you a few drinks, buddy.
All right, we'll see how that goes.
Tom, tell us what your experiences of eating the cake as you're eating it.
Can you not hear the sounds coming from his mouth?
This is the McCain's Deluxe Vanilla Cake.
You do it. That one with McCain Punch.
You know
Actually,
what I mean? Like, why bother cutting it and putting it on a plate when you can just eat it right out of the tin it comes?
I agree, man. I agree.
what's the point? What's the point of getting a plate?
Yeah.
I'm going to call Tom out on this right now. Earlier, when the Australians were here, we got Thomas in the background, backstage, coming on with his freaking.
No, people are still in the chat.
He was a funny guy.
I'm just saying he had chicken and I wanted some. That's all I'm
saying.
Oh,
the Shish Chalet, yes.
You could see that? Oh, you could see him on the way.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. What kind of chicken was it? It was just regular. What'd you get? Like just like a double leg thing, or what would you get?
Did we lose Disco Vinny somewhere, or what happened? He's in the chat now, but he's
gone. Vinny's up top.
Right here, I'm Marsha. Yeah,
on top.
We're moving around like crazy here. It's like full on Tetris.
Got to keep it interesting there.
I think we just got a square.
As long as we know we got Tom the Cake Man.
Your video is done encoding, Marky D. I just heard it.
You squeeze too?
Go get cake.
Maybe.
Don, what are you eating?
Holy hell.
Staples and I are playing a little game.
Like
Apple crumble.
That sounds yummy.
Apple crumble.
Oh, I missed the firkin.
Oh, that's right. I forgot who has access here. That's right. Yeah. Center square there, eh?
Yeah. Who do you mean?
Yeah, I forgot you had access here, guy.
Getting dizzy. Yeah, I don't blame you, Mary.
Getting dizzy?
I didn't buy tickets for this.
You didn't even buy a ticket.
What? You need a ticket?
No, you.
I bought a ticket.
There's no ticket bought.
There's no ticket? You have to be
it's a free ride.
Come on. All right, so Staples, who do you got coming up after Buddha? Who's on the docket for the next couple weeks?
Let's talk about that. Thank you, Marky. So next week we have we got Buddha and I am DJ Task next week.
Yeah.
And then let's see, what do we got after that? We have Le DJ Grizz and Select the Jinx, reggae guy. Well, he plays mainly reggae, but he's out of Montreal.
Reggae guy.
He's great. He's good.
Reggae nights.
Right, you know it.
After the 17th, I'm open on. I want to
pause on that.
On the 24th, I don't have anybody set. I know DJ J has wanted to come back on. We had him on once before, and I know he was busting chops in the chat before, and I know he does a live stream Monday nights, but
he doesn't start till 10. So if you read him at 8 or 9,
are you talking on the 24th? You said though.
The 24th, yeah.
We have a good.
I'm hoping
we have a good question from the chatters, just so you know.
I'm hoping we can do the maybe the final showdown. Maybe we can do it on your show.
I'm fine with you taking over and taking control of my show.
You know, I know Freddie usually streams on Mondays, but he's not on. He's not on tonight. But can you see if we can get Freddie on?
Somebody send him. Who's tight with Freddie?
Me, and I mean, but
so everybody is, right? You guys, I am, but yeah, throw it out. I'm sure.
I am.
I was gonna say I think Vinny is the closest to him, but Eli would be the second.
I thought we're having Anne Marie on.
I thought the Freddie like every day.
We can have Anne. Where's Anne Marie? Is she in the chat?
Oh, you want to interview?
I don't know if
Anne
I
Marie,
saw
or
her
you
all
want-
day.
Hold
in
on,
the
I'm
chat
going to
today.
say Victor Dancer. I reached out to Miss Ninja on a couple of occasions, and I followed all the guidelines and emails that I was supposed to, and have not heard a word back. So
I can throw a message out to her. I talked to her.
I'm not throwing her under the bus, but I did my due diligence.
I would say, I don't know if you guys know Aristotle or even Nick Styles. I mean, I know they do streams on Mondays too, but they're like Nick Styles is a very energetic, cool guy. So I'd recommend him if you want. But
Yeah, man. Look, I Mary.
Rice-
We
Rice
talked
Cube,
to Rice Cube offline. He's too busy, but
Is he?
he's always welcome.
I don't even know if you guys would be interested in Kid Arctic. He's got a good story. He's a friend of Scratch's. He
Yes, yeah,
does a
absolutely.
lot of cool streams and works really hard too. So be kind of cool to get him on.
Yeah, we can always chat offline because everyone.
Yeah, for sure. This is all part of the business meeting. Everybody, welcome to it.
Yeah, welcome to
Also,
in the
Victor,
first door,
right?
yeah.
Alpha is another fantastic one.
DJ
Yeah, we'll
Joe,
keep it going. I mean, as long as people want to join and they don't mind hanging out and bullshitting with us, it's fine.
Yeah.
Are we going to answer this question here? Or?
I think Josh
Go for it. Great question. Yeah, great question. Go for it. Who's going to start?
You.
Me?
Eli, you go first.
You want me to answer this? What I think the future is of Twitch? Well, what I say, the future is of Twitch. I think Twitch will be around for a long time, but Twitch has some competition coming, which should be very interesting. And based on how they're going to be doing things, it'll be very different from Twitch. But do I think it's going to be the future? I think it's going to be around. It's only going to get bigger and better. And I think it's the future of social media as a whole. I think people are going to be able to create their own platforms the way they are and just get them bigger and better. And people who don't, I mean, you got to think to yourself, we're a very, 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 very small community of people who are on Twitch right now. It's a very small community. And then the people who know about it, there's thousands and thousands of people who just don't know. I mean, look how long it took for Facebook to even catch on. People are still figuring out Facebook and they're not even on it yet. So, but the future of Twitch, yeah, I think it's going to be around for a long time, and it's only get bigger and better. But like, I'm just curious to see what the competition is about to do. So that's what I'd say.
Next.
Jinx, buy me a Coke.
My only concern is the ban hammer coming down on music. That's my concern.
It can end at any day when the labels get involved because they're not making money. It's over.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
they already are to a point because we have those copyright warnings, and when your VODs are all muted, so they're already involved.
They are.
It's going to be up to Twitch because there's other formats that you can already go on that are not being used like Twitch is being used, but simply you pay your monthly fee and that company has paid for the rights, so you can show your videos and it's not muted. It's fine because they've paid for the RIA where they paid the rights, and that's what Twitch is going to have to do. I just don't think Twitch was expecting this to be a big DJ forum. It was a gaming forum, so they weren't ready for that.
what Staples is doing now is fine. That can stay. But when the labels get involved, they're going to say, pay us.
Yep.
Right.
Or pull it.
Yep.
And Amazon is not going to pay it.
We'll see.
It's no, because they can't, guys.
They can't. You're right.
They can't. It's over. When that season, the reason why Facebook and Instagram absolutely just said we're not dealing with it.
Tom.
Yeah, but Mixcloud and other places are doing it. So
Mixcloud is located in the UK, and they're not following the rules. It's just a matter of time for them to.
And we all know as DJs how many platforms we've all seen in the span of 15 years alone. I mean, really, realistically, since things started taking off and streaming started taking off. I mean, who here, show of hands, used Live 365? Anybody? Yeah, I did.
Dude, I was streaming on Shoutcast in 1997 from a 56K modem
with Winamp, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So the thing about it is that these things existed for a long time, and of course, like anything, these things start to go down. And Mark's right. I mean, when the labels get involved in things, I mean, right now it doesn't really matter so much, but even though it does, and they're not making the money. But the fact is, when it does get to a point, yeah, Twitch. Unless Twitch has been really working diligently with the DCMA to figure out copyright and a legal way of doing it, like Spotify or any other streaming service, then maybe it does work out. But I think for the time being, I mean, everything that we're doing in any capacity has been illegal and copyright issues. And whether you're showing a clip from a movie or you're doing this or that. We're all doing something illegal, but it's not enough for them to gang up on 10,000 DJs. They'll pick 1 or 2 DJs and try to make an example. Obviously, as you've seen with Thomas and whatnot, what he had to go through. So it's they'll do that. They'll continue to do that. But I think for the most part, I think Twitch will be around, but it's going to take time for it to figure out.
The only saving grace is that Twitch will say we're allowing DJs to live stream and not to save. So the DJ can do what they're doing as long as they're performing a live mix, as long as they're playing music and it's not being saved. But at the end of the day, that's why you can't keep the streams up there. And I know a few people do, and that's why it gets muted. That's kind of their way out. So what they'll say is it's just a platform for streaming music, and that's literally all it is. And that will be their only saving grace. But if and when that particular piece runs out, and they say, I don't care, because Spotify pays for every stream. Apple Music pays for every stream. Taylor Swift went to Apple and had a big battle with them. And when Apple was giving away their Apple Music for 3 months for free, Taylor's like, yeah, I don't care. I want to get paid for my streams. And they're like, well, we're giving it away. And Taylor's like, well, then take me off. Apple ended up paying because they just want to get paid for their streams. But labels make very little money. Artists make very little money off sales. They make some money off streaming, but they make most of their money off touring. And there's no touring. There hasn't been for a long time.
Yep.
So they're going to need to find ways to do this. That's why a bunch of them went to Facebook and said, we want you to allow us to live stream our own stuff, our own concerts on Facebook, and we're going to charge like a $10 admission fee because they wanted to collect it. And Facebook was considering that, letting artists come in and basically charging tickets like a concert, but you could watch it live on Facebook. So when they're not getting paid, they're going to go after it. And they're going to say, I don't care if, Diplo was playing for 1.2 million people on Twitch. If I'm not getting paid, my music is a monetized asset to the label. The labels are going to say, if we are not getting paid, shut it down. Now, with Spotify, with Apple Music, they can count the streams. Those things are entered into a database. On Twitch, those streams are not being counted. DJs are not submitting playlists, and they're not playing the regular radio edits that have a ISRC code, which is basically when a song is created, it's given a code. Every single song has a code. ISRC, International Sound Recording Code. And when you play a version of Usher, that song is logged at 4 minutes and 32 seconds. There's a 10-second leeway that they can play. So as long as that song gets played and stays within that 10 seconds, it gets counted as a stream. When DJs like myself or other DJs rip through music at 30 or 40 seconds a song, nothing's getting counted. Right. So even if you have an auto Shazam on to try and track what I'm playing, I've got backbeats and all the things, it's not going to pick it up. They cannot track what DJs are doing, and we're not submitting playlists. They will just say, literally, we cannot track it. We cannot get paid for these streams. Shut it down.
The thing that's frustrating about what they're doing is that, especially with my shows, and I know a lot of people out there, so many of us are doing retro type shows, 70s, 80s, 90s music. We're streaming music. I have so many people make comments like, oh, I haven't heard that in ages. I just went out and bought that. I forgot about that song. What we're doing is actually selling their music, and we're not getting any credit for that. It's like, it's stupid of them. I would totally get it if it's someone doing current pop that's on the current chart that wants to be sold. Get it. But I think they're missing a whole market. It's like we're promoting recognize your music again.
Yeah, those days are gone. It's every song is a monetized asset. Back in the day, there was record pools. You gave DJ songs, they would go out and play it. People would go out and buy CDs. Right. Now they're like, that doesn't work anymore.
That's why this mixer that's coming out. Sorry,
that's why they say that doesn't work anymore. You know what? If Disco Vinny is going to break a brand new song and 100,000 people won't play it, I don't care. I can't track that. Pay me.
Well, what I'm saying is they are getting paid because they're hearing stuff that they haven't played, and my people are going out and buying the downloads. They're actually paying for it.
Those days are gone.
But I agree with Mark. Those days are gone because I don't find people are going out and buying the albums as much. Why would they when they have Spotify or when they have Apple Music or anything? They can pay their subscription. They get it all. So now Apple's giving that over to the labels because obviously they work it out with them. Labels pass it over to the artist, right? So that's the new way of buying their music. artists aren't going to have that album sales anymore and everything like that.
Well, that's why with Spotify, like I say, teaming up, I think it's a Pioneer. I can't remember who they're teaming up with their new streaming console. I mean, that's going to be the whole way of being able to monetize a DJ playing in everything in a BPM or anything has all been labeled out by a service, and it's all there. And every time you play a song at a wedding or any event, it is streaming and it's going right to the label itself, and that's how the money's going to be made. So it's going to be a whole different form of DJing. It's just, you're not using a tangible copy, which I mean, all of us here will attest. I don't think any of us want to use a streaming service at this point in our lives to do a wedding. I mean, especially we've all seen these buffering issues when you're doing a first dance or anything like that. So I think anybody, even people who are doing old school, still using CDs, are, who don't want to go digital, still having a tangible copy as opposed to having to play a stream. I mean, I don't feel like we're in North America. We're even close to a lot of other countries that are way quicker in speed and internet that we are to be ready for that. So I'm curious to see how it's going to work out, but I think it's going to be a long time before it's perfected.
They cannot enforce or force DJs to stream at a wedding.
I agree.
You have the option to be offline, so that will never fly.
Right. Well, they're working on something right now, man. So it's.
Don't you think there might be a possibility, though, because Twitch is owned by Amazon?
Yeah.
Incorporating Amazon Music into the mix.
That's the thing.
Amazon Music
isn't Amazon Music dead?
Amazon Music is its own streaming service.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, the first one to the game will ultimately win. Right. Spotify was the first one. They ultimately won. Apple has a monopoly because they have the iPhone. It comes with it. You have to opt out. But it's so convenient. That's Apple's own thing, right? Like, so you've got Spotify and essentially Apple Music. Amazon, they're going to say if you have a Prime account, look, you get Amazon Prime TV, you get a bunch of music stuff, but no one's really going to Amazon Music to find stuff. Okay. It might be a throw-in, but ultimately it's going to be Spotify and Apple Music.
Yeah. Well, that's why Spotify is doing what they can, because they know they've been struggling, not necessarily in Canada, but in the States they've been struggling. So I think that's why they're teaming up to do what they're doing, and it's and it will take off. It's just I don't know what it means for us who have been doing tangible things for so long.
This right here, in terms of Twitch, and to answer the question of that too, Twitch won't die in a year time. Twitch is like, it's just going to keep building more than it is right now.
I think.
In terms of the DJ side of it, obviously, because we're just a small percentage, and I often wonder, because I've been in streams where it's not DJs, it's gamers and everything. I think they kind of look down on the DJs, like that we're ruining it for them because they're not able to play music in the background while they're streaming their game.
No, but the thing about that is the games are licensed with songs.
Right.
Like if you play Grand Theft Auto,
but some of these some of these streamers are playing games and playing other music.
Their own music.
Their own music.
They can do that. But if you play Grand Theft Auto, the very first scene where he gets into the car, you can't escape it. It plays Billie Jean. Like that's been licensed to it. So you can't turn around and go to Sony Music. Sony can't turn around and say, well, you can't play that song because that song has been licensed. Every time someone plays that game online, that song is going to play.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. So the record labels can't come to them and say, this is the deal. Now, what they can do, and probably their way out of it, is they'll say, if you're doing more than 90% music, you're out. So when I added my podcast to Apple Music, to Apple Podcasts, to Google Podcasts, and to Spotify, Apple Podcasts was fine. Google Podcasts is fine, but Spotify recognizes that it's not an actual podcast. It recognizes that it's not music. So the rule about a podcast is it can't be more than 10% music. It has to be more, like you can't have more than 10% music. So my show is entirely music. In fact, I cut talking right out. So I put that clip at the beginning of me talking for 15 seconds because that gets around some of the copyright because it starts off with audio. What they do is they have filters that just go through and pick it up. And Spotify has now put in an algorithm. So it used to kick us off every week, and we would have to go and just punch in a new code and everything would work. Now it doesn't do that. Now it just doesn't let you submit it. But it has the filters in there. So once it recognizes that more than 10% of it is music, it says you violated the podcast terms. We're not putting you up. So as soon as Twitch puts in that algorithm that scans your stream and realizes that it scans it every minute or 2 minutes, it'll just wipe it out and they'll kick you off. That's the way they're going to get around it.
So Vinny, I know you were saying in the chat there about, you know, charging a fee and charging to the and working it that way and then working with the labels and everything. But the other big factor here is it's not worth it for Twitch. We're such a small percentage. It's such a small percentage of the streamers that they don't care about this. They'd rather just say, no, well, I'll see you later. Too bad, guys. Like that's the unfortunate part about it. It really is.
Hopefully it won't. I mean, you never know. There's people out there that might be on our side. Hopefully. I mean, all we can do is try.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have to ask what, you know, somehow it's worthwhile to them, because I guarantee you they're making money off of the subs and the people doing the biddies
and the bits. Yeah.
They're making
it's
money
such a but compared to what they're originally doing
around playing games, they're probably making a lot more money off of certain DJs than they are.
Well, yeah, for sure. We need to be off 4 right now. So
if there's money to be made into it, then somebody's going to be interested in it.
But they're not going to be able to figure out dollar for dollar. Like they're not going to go to Amazon. And
how does a nightclub do it? How does a nightclub do it?
A nightclub just pays an annual fee. It's basically, but you pay a SOCAN fee, which goes to the societies of composers and artists or whatever it stands for, and it's based on your square footage, and it's based on how many bathrooms you have, and they basically say, okay, you owe us $2,500 a year, and as much as SOCAN doesn't have a lot of power, they can.
Do these guys have SOCAN around the world, Mark, or is that just here in Canada?
SOCAN, which is Connect now, anyway.
No, it's not. It's not Connect. It's a different situation. Connect.
Was the AVLA.
Sorry, that's right. Sorry, Connect with the AVLA. You're right. Sorry, that's what I was.
You're right, but that collects the copyright on on making recordings. SOCAN collects on behalf of the writers. SOCAN goes after the bars. AVLA or Connect will go after the DJs.
That's right.
So we have. Do you have ASCAP in Canada?
No, ASCAP BMI is the equivalent of SOCAN.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I almost got a job working. Yeah, I almost got a job working for ASCAP, collecting money at establishments that weren't paying their monthly or their yearly.
I'll show you an ASCAP.
Thank you.
I got to meet Paul Lynn. True story.
Oh, that's right.
Paul Williams. Excuse me. Not
slightly different.
Very different.
But SOCAN, they can deny you from renewing your liquor license.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they've got some power, right?
Yeah.
They cannot collect on your behalf. They don't have any laws, but they can put something in with AGCO that says don't renew their liquor license unless it's paid. I mean, it's a small amount. It's, if you got a small place, it's $2,500 or $3,000 a year. You just pay it. But you're right. It's just a bullshit fee.
It is a bullshit.
But it goes somewhere.
There's got to be a way for it to be figured out with Twitch so that DJs can, like we said, if you're going to DJ, you have a monthly license fee to be a Twitch DJ, and it goes towards that. And then you make your followers, hey, your DJs pay this.
And Vinny, it's exactly like Live 365. If you want to be a broadcaster, you're going to spend X number of dollars a month, and that gave you just as much leeway to do what you want to do. I don't know if it makes a difference, and probably doesn't make a difference as much anymore. But I know before, when people were just broadcasting audio, there was no problem. With visuals, there's a whole different rule behind that. And we always had, even as Tom, I mean, when we were trying to do Retro Roadshow, we were gonna do a whole electric circus type of show or a visual kind of dance show, and there was just so much fine print behind it. And I worked for like a whole year trying to put together how to make it work. And their rules were like, if you're going to show a music video, you can't show a music video on a stream for more than 5 seconds at a time. So you got to cut away. But so I don't know if that rule is different still as a DJ, if you're allowed to just go online or go on Twitch and just be a DJ with no visuals and pay a fee every month, which I think the competition is going to start doing. Or does Twitch just say, yeah, fuck the DJs. We want to become a gaming platform, and we're just going to be here until we're not here, until we go somewhere else.
If they're smart, they're just going to check out Retro Mix's channel. Answer is right there.
Anybody
to be honest, I think they're just kicking the can down the road. They're like, we'll deal with it later.
Right. Yeah.
But because they're going to have to weigh what it costs in in bandwidth, essentially, what it costs in bandwidth to have all these extra eyes on the platform versus what they actually make.
Right.
And then what it will cost to either get some kind of blanket license where they could just pay the labels a percentage, basically saying, as long as you're streaming, we'll pay you whatever number it is per year just to shut up and look the other way. Essentially, what they'll have to do, because if it comes down to it, like I said, they'll have to either pay a blanket license, or the labels will just say it's too bad, and it's going to come to a breaking point. I'm sure they've had the discussions, but I think they're just getting away with this. DJ doing a mix on the fly.
Starting from scratch, we'll get Jazzy Jeff. They'll get together with their 5,000 viewers and kick their asses. They'll say, "Look, you don't want to mess with us."
There you go.
I mean, they both have created massive brands. I mean, especially Scratch, who has created he and Tim, of course, have created such a massive brand over the span of the year and a half. I mean, like, for them to be kicked down after all they've done and how much money they've brought in.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Shout out to Scratch, who was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still in here, but yeah, for sure.
Tom, you had your finger up.
Yeah, the right one. Question. So if Twitch comes along and says, guys, we don't mind you mind streaming on the show. We want you to pay a fee, either yearly, monthly, whatever. Would you pay it to be?
Sure. Okay, what's the fee? What's it worth to you, and what are you allowed to do?
Yeah, that's the question. It's going to be at least a couple $100 or to.
I would do it in a heartbeat. After everything all the work that I've put into it so far that I've built, I would do it.
And you get it back, right? You can get it back.
Well,
just claim it.
Even if you don't, you got to figure. I mean, you spend money on your equipment to do gigs, but you don't know if you're going to get it back. I mean, there's certain things that you pay it, and then you go forward.
Yeah, but part two, if life goes back to normal, who's going to pay it when you can say, I'm going to do a club tonight. I'm not DJing anymore on Friday nights.
Well, that's the thing. That was the interesting thing someone was asking about. I think, at least for me, that knowing that I can do this now is that my plan would be is I would love to be able to, if and when I get back to my clubs, if they're going to do that, to stream from the club.
That's right. Like
Brad from the green screen office. It's like, now you're actually, this is Disco Mini at the cuff. Here we go.
And then no word of a lie. People were doing this before the pandemic. Now it's so noticed that we are all our own brand, our own channel.
We would have Wi-Fi issues.
It's good for the club. It's like, hey, we're streaming online, so maybe we'll get some people down to the club. They're going to want to come see this party.
But you have to have good Wi-Fi, Disco. You have to have good Wi-Fi.
Most venues would have that now anyway, especially if they implement it. Like, I mean, I know for a fact there's not a chance in hell that someone like Scratch and Tim are not going to take they already had the shows to begin with before the pandemic, but there's no chance in hell that they're not going to take what they've been building and not bringing that to the club with them, and having the moderators still doing everything on the side.
Oh yeah,
shows going on. They're live and there's stuff. I mean, I'm sure Scratch is not going to talk to the crowd the same way, but I'm sure the things are going to go on. He's gonna double bill it. He's gonna have his cake and eat it too. Why not?
And at least here, if they don't have it, my husband will come down and install it. He'll be like, "No, none of this shit. Where's the HDMI? We're putting it in right here." He's like, "No." I'm lucky. I have one of those. I have a tech husband, so that helps a lot.
No, I mean, venues are really, especially over the span of a year. I mean, I know there's a lot of venues here in Toronto that have done their best to start implementing the virtual aspect of things, so that when concerts come back, hey, if you're in whatever country and you want to see, let's say you want to see The Cure or play, or whoever it is playing, that is, you could be where you want and still watch a live show and say, oh man, I can't make it to Copenhagen, or I can't make it to London today, so I'm going to watch my show from home, and you'll see a live show, and it's going to be, as opposed to download it, as opposed to like waiting for the concert to come out on DVD or coming out somewhere like 6 months down the road. You want to be able to experience it live, and I think a lot more venues have been working really, really tough on making that happen. So,
well, as much as I love being on top of La Grise, I have to go make dinner, so I have to bow out you guys.
See? Dinner again. See?
Always dinner, right?
Yeah, always had to go there, Grizz. Look at you smile. I love that. At least you're not frowning.
It's all good.
But you guys have a good night. You keep going.
Maybe dinner is code for something else, but thank you, Vinny, for joining.
No, it's not. It's really boring.
I'm glad you hopped in.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
We'll see you Thursday.
Soon.
Thursday.
Hey, guys, I'm out as well. I got a meeting at 7 in the morning, so I'll talk to you after.
Ooh.
Who's this?
It's about time he's leaving. I mean,
Grizz.
see you, Grizz.
Hey, yeah, fuck you too, Dan.
Yeah, love you.
And then there were.
Quit telling me.
Many words.
He's a good guy to drink with. That's about it.
He never shut up tonight. He just kept talking.
He doesn't. He doesn't fucking shut up.
Oh, he's still here.
He doesn't know how to leave.
I sent the link to Anne Marie to hop on. I don't know if she's going to join or not.
Later, Vinny. Yeah, no, I'm
Xanadu forever, Disco Vinny.
I'm gonna head out in 5 minutes, but yeah, it's yeah, no, it'll be interesting. I agree with what Mark said. I mean, it's up to see what the labels are. I mean, it's a whole division now. If the labels are smart and they said, okay, you know what, we obviously see that we're not making money at record stores anymore because record stores are closing down more and more, and most of them have already closed down, and even the small ones have closed down.
There's no need. There's no need to go to a record store. It's like going to a Blockbuster.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, as an artist, you don't even need a label. You can sell your music on iTunes. You can do that yourself, and you can promote it on YouTube. So
there's a great documentary on Netflix about the last Blockbuster.
I saw it.
So we were talking about fees, though, right?
Right.
So I just decided to go look on SOCAN and see what they charge for an internet radio or TV station.
Yeah.
And it falls under here in Canada anyway. It's tariff 22B.
Nice.
And it relates and ends up being 1.5% per month of the station's revenues.
Okay. So
it's really cheap.
There you go, Ronnie.
Well, especially if you have a station with good advertising that's going on, and you have a good number of commercials and whatnot. But
the thing about SOCAN is SOCAN was never meant to get rich off one thing. They were meant to be like they're meant to get rich like banks do, right? You just charge them a monthly small monthly fee, and you just do it in quantity.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, there's no reason why the fee needs to be hundreds of dollars per year. If it's supposed to be 1.5%, like I'd happily give them $1.50 a month. Like,
well, they're going to create packages where it's going to be like it's going to be like having Netflix. I mean, it's going to be like $9 if you want to do this, or it's going to be $15 if you want to do this. If you want to do, they're going to have different packages, and I'm sure that's what Twitch is even working on right now. But I mean, who knows when that's going to happen? We're fortunate. We've had a year and a bit of being able to stream for free. Realistically, we've been able to stream for free and make money streaming for free.
Right. So, do you think they're going to, when they push that out to the gamers, that the gamers are going to turn around and say, "Yeah, I'm still going to pay"? And
sure. I mean, the gaming industry is even tenfold bigger than the fucking DJ industry. I hate to say it.
Of course.
It came out of nowhere. And obviously, we all know how much money the gamers make. But yeah, I'm sure gamers, if you're a gamer, they're going to completely do that. So, what's up, Tom? Oh,
no, just showing stuff to. Ignore me. I'm just showing stuff to DJ Grizz.
Oh, sure.
No, we'll just move these guys side by side so they can.
Let them play a house together.
I'm glad I'm taking lessons.
Gila Fleur, and then this is. Oh, look, there you go, Cats or Ken Dryden.
Ken Dryden, wow.
Yeah, no, I think fees are going to be implemented for sure, and it's going to come soon. But I think they're also waiting to see what they're going to do.
The problem with the fee is you're going to come up with a blanket usage fee as opposed to percentage, and it's got to be the amount of times you stream. Like, it can't just be a flat fee. It's not a user fee to use the platform.
No,
it's going to be relevant to how many people, how often you're on, or something like that. And then let's just say the fee is even high, like $50 by people's standards. Not high in general, but most people. But most people, like per month, let's say most people weigh their options and say, you know what, it's just probably not worth it. Most people will drop off.
Yep.
Probably. And maybe that's what they're counting on. Maybe they're counting on saying, like anything with business, you're going to say, are you going to invest in it or are you not going to invest in it? And maybe they're hoping people are going to bail off of it, because you got to let's be realistic. Of the Twitch DJs or so-called DJs that are on Twitch, I mean, some of them are just going to say, yeah, it's not worth it, especially when they're going to get back to their own society and their life. That, like Thomas was saying, they're not going to spend time streaming as well, even though you can, like Vinny was saying, you want to take it to the club, like Brad did. Are you going to DJ again from the bar again, Staples?
Yeah, this Friday I'm back, and so if it's got a crowd, then I'll connect the camera just to show what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, And it's cool because if you could be in a lounge like that, especially lounges, I mean, clubs too, but I mean, like I was saying to Vinny last night, I said, he's doing a wedding, I think this weekend or something. And I said, you should stream it. He's like, I'm not going to stream my wedding. I'm like, why not? You know, you can, whether you're on the chat or you're talking to people or not, you can make bits and subs at the same time. If you're doing an event, you're actually getting paid to do your event. You may as well potentially get a hype train while you're doing a wedding. I mean, why not?
The only way this could potentially work is like you pay a fee to Apple Music or like you pay a fee to Spotify. You would pay a fee to Twitch to be able to broadcast over it. However,
and that's what I said. That's what I said.
However, though, that fee is not going to be $9.99 a month.
No, it won't be like that. I think, like I said, they're going to create packages based on what
because those are fees that you're paying to let them feed you the music. If you're the one that's going to feed the music and you're the one that's going to pick the music, like go on Spotify and go look up like BG and the Prince of Rap, Color of My Dreams. Like, some Euro songs are there, some Euro songs are not. So not every song is in the database. So the fact that you're able to do it, you're able to pick the playlist, and not everything is licensed, there's going to have to be a buffer in there for non-licensed stuff, which goes into a pool. Right. So it's not going to be that easy, but it's also not going to be $10 a month. Yeah, no, I don't think it'll start like that. I think you're probably maybe looking at the 25 range and up potentially, but I don't know. Some people are going to say it's not worth it, but like I say, at the same time, it was an investment, and after a span of a year of how much work a lot of you guys have put into your streams and your channels and whatnot and the content, you know, I think just throwing that away after all that time, I don't think people are going to do that. I think they're going to continue to invest in their product, and why not? So, you know.
Hi, Anne-Marie. How are you?
Request noted.
Request noted.
Fuck me.
Is my mic working?
Yeah,
your mic is working. Yeah.
The mic's working. John's working. The gym's working. It's all working.
Request noted.
You should get a license plate that says that. I want to get you a license plate that says like RQST NTED, like request noted. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, don't worry, we all know what it is.
That's hilarious.
We all know.
It's helped. I think it's helped Tom a lot.
Oh yeah, Tom needs help, all right.
Tom's just got to get the emote now.
I just call Tom in the middle of the stream. I mean, you know, he mixes front to end. He's got 3.5 minutes in between songs. We have regular conversations. I called him today before he played my song. He's like, "Wait, let me mix this." He just mixes it and then comes back on the phone.
Yeah, he's doing 16 things at once. You just don't see it when he's on camera. And that's why I said today, even in the chat, I said, play this song. I go, don't give me that request notice shit. Just play the fucking song.
That's why I sent him all my old Chum FM IDs, and I'm like, here, play these for you.
That's good. I like those. Those are your IDs?
Those are mine, because I had Richie Cavallero.
You had Richie, right.
I never had Taylor.
Yeah, no, we had Taylor and Corey. We had Richie too, but we didn't have Richie as long because we weren't there as long with Richie.
Yeah, those were all my IDs. I'm like, here, play these for Eli.
Oh yeah, they're good. I thought to myself, I'm like, I don't even remember these ones. I'm like, what the fuck are these? But I'm like, go for it. It sounds cool.
Those are my IDs.
They're good. Yeah.
Eli, I couldn't keep track of what was comments and what was requests, and I got a call in the middle of it all, and I just gave up.
Good. I like when you get calls. Get calls. Get more calls. You just stay busy, Anne-Marie. Stay busy. You are on top of everything. Between you and Rose Rebel, man, you guys are on top of everything. So, plus noted. Oh, I love it.
I could type it without even looking at the keyboard now. It's just like
pretty good.
It's efficient.
It's what they call it. It's short form. It's short form.
Yeah, you need to make a shortcut for that. Just put it in your thing, and then just hit Control V
Alt
space.
Yeah, Alt F2 just goes request noted.
Yeah.
I type so fast. By the time I figure out what those keys are,
it's pretty good. I mean, he got probably how many requests do you think a day you get, Tom?
Not a lot.
You don't get you probably get at least 50 requests, right? Between 40 and 50 requests.
Yeah, but are you talking if you take you and I out, Eli, or what?
Yeah, okay. Take you. I rarely request anyway.
Not even 15, 16 requests, buddy.
No, right?
Nope.
Well, you're getting Joy Division tomorrow. So.
Come on, you don't think you get 15, 16 requests in the night or in the day, whatever?
Okay, the ones that we do miss a couple, but sometimes people don't explain it properly. They'll make a note and then we don't know if it's a request or not. It's like someone will make a joke, say, "I'll play a song." I was like, "Oh, I'm thinking, I like to steal," and and the song is called "I Like to Steal" from somebody, but they don't say the artist or anything. But Yeah, I don't get a lot. I get less than 20. Less than 20 for sure.
And you play them all too, which is really cool. That you do find a way to get them in.
Yeah.
Pause. Staples, right? Pause on that. You do find a way to get them in at every time, so that's pretty cool. That's,
well, you advertise as an all request channel. You got to play the requests.
Yeah, and you're obvious about that, so that's pretty cool. That people.
I'm gonna request Super Trooper tomorrow, so there you go. Make sure you have it.
Oh, I intend to play it.
Did you post it?
Amory is not a fan of ABBA.
I can't stand ABBA either.
You know what? Anne-Marie can get her own goddamn show at noon every day. How about that?
She's got her own channel.
There you go.
I'll request note for you too.
It's true, because if I do a shout out, it says check out this amazing DJ AMG.
Just shout her out.
Shout her out.
So just so everybody knows, Anne-Marie's going to start streaming weekdays
at 12:05.
At 12:05.
Hit play.
You can do it easily. You know what? Perception is reality. I mean, like what I was doing on this weekend, people were like thinking I was live, and I was just doing archives. And I'm like, I'm going to start this new thing and try it out. And
I did. I went in there. You told me it wasn't live. I was like, man, just me and Mary in there.
Yeah, well, Mary was like in there for a good time. She was hanging out like the whole day. So talking about dedication. I mean, that was, and I wasn't. I mean, I had left my place. I went for a walk for like an hour and a half, and I wasn't even home. I was just letting it play. I was in the chat on my walk, and I'm like, but perception is reality. What you don't know, you don't know. So
that's like,
well, now we know.
What do I care?
Well, Glenn does that. I'm a mod on his
playlist.
Yeah, I'm a mod on his channel, and he made me one because way back, he used to do it, and then he stopped, and he's doing it again. After his Slow Jam show, he goes to bed, but he leaves it running like for hours. So he left it, and he made Mary and I mod so we could take care of any problems. So
yeah, no, it's smart.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool. It's cool. So yeah, I'll drop in on a Sunday afternoon and just sit and listen because it's it's very mellow.
And what I want to do, what I initially started to do on Saturday was I wasn't going to even do the courthouse thing because Staples was doing like a late night thing and he couldn't sleep instead. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to go on. I wasn't going to DJ like live. I'm going to go on. And I was going to start really playing because a lot of times I have so much stuff and so many songs I get that I never even really get a chance to listen to them, and especially albums too. And that's what I was talking about before. I was really just going to take my entire library, throw it on a playlist, on a crossfade, and just let it go. And then and just make it like an archive and make it like my full library. And you don't know what you're going to hear. You might hear something like from Yanni. You might hear something from, I don't know, from anybody. And the fact of the matter is I was going to let it run. And you figure, hey, you get to hear my playlist. Because everybody's playing everything and anything. I figure, why the hell not just throw something on? I don't have to always DJ live. So
yeah, but I think Twitch has a thing about you being a radio station, so you can't run it 24 hours a day.
No, I would never do that. And you know what? And my computer, when I woke up in the morning, I mean, I only slept for 2 hours that night. But when I woke up, my computer like had run out of full memory. So this is the computer I'm on right here. Like it was running out of memory. So I'm like, when I did the 12-hour Christmas stream, I didn't have a problem. So I know this Mac, which is a relatively new Mac, it's starting to give me issues. So I'm like, I'm not sure.
Mark, there is a few channels that do 24 hours.
Yeah, I've seen them. They have more followers than I do half the time, and they're just running content. But it works, right?
No, they're not supposed to do that.
Not supposed to, but
No, Twitch has made it very clear about the radio station. That's why when we were doing the music, we were doing the music video DJs.
That was.
No, but that was different because you could literally see it stop every hour.
Right.
And a new DJ. And if Twitch ever wanted to look into it, they could see that it was literally different IP addresses coming in every hour, right?
Right.
Like it was different. It was a whole bunch of different people logging in at the top of the hour from a different IP.
I think if I do it like that, like I was just explaining, if I ever do it like that, I think I'd only do it for like a 4 or 5 hour, 6 hour thing. And even those live airs, I'd probably do them as a few hours thing, maybe like a show here and there. I'm gonna bring back a bunch of live airs this weekend that I have, and and they're on VHS, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. But but it's gonna be but I mean, to do something like that, it's throwbacks, it's memories, and I mean, if anybody else has those live airs for their own shows, then
you could probably get away with it if you were to set up. Is there a way to auto raid at a specific time?
Would you say rape or rate?
Auto rate.
Auto what?
But you can always
I'm sure
have,
you could write a script to do
you
it.
can have
It's
somebody
just
else who's an
IRC,
editor.
so.
Rod.
Oh, I actually wouldn't even need to. But if you basically were to do that and just raid 2 or 3 channels in a loop,
Actually, there is I bet you there is a way that you can raid, but you have to make sure the channel's on. Here's how you do it. So, for example, my stream elements, I rename my stream elements Impressions Music. Impressions Music now automatically posts my automated messages, so I can set a timer so that it raids and say, okay, this post I want to be posted in 10 hours from now. And that post that'll come up will be raid so-and-so. But the person has to be on, otherwise obviously it's not going to work.
Yeah, but if you had a series of computers or something, I mean, even if you had 2 laptops that basically just fired back and forth, you literally could do exactly what you wanted to do: set up a channel without running 24 hours.
Well, I don't think I'd ever do 24 hours. I mean, that's why I said, like, I don't even know how someone like even like White Gold, who just did that 24-hour stream a couple days ago.
Guy, 24 hours easy. Do it.
I know, yeah, easy. I get it. Yeah, but
I did 24. It was...
Did you see White Gold's stats?
It's crazy.
Did you see what he posted on Facebook? Yeah, 240,000 unique viewers.
That's crazy.
He had well, he went on because it was for charity. He was on the homepage of Twitch when he started. I told Thomas he had 7,500 followers to start the stream.
Wow.
He had something like 1,800 subs, something like 5,000 or like something like 500,000. Like he posted it, but it was like the number that stood out to me was 240,000 unique views, and his average was about 900. Eli, looking it up.
Was that
his average viewers was over 900.
What's his followers though?
Well, he had
a lot. He's
got like 9,000 followers or something.
More, I think even more than that. He's got
to begin with, right?
Yeah. It's amazing.
Listen, he's not a small DJ to start with, right? Like when he goes on a daily basis, he'll have 400 or 500 people watching him.
Yeah. And not to mention he has a good story too. I mean, I hate to say it's a good story. He has like what he's gone through with his son.
Yeah.
It's a horrible story. I mean, no one wishes that on anybody. And it's I mean, so the cause of what he did. And what he brought up, I mean, I think he made some. Not him, but for the cause, he made some really good money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he donated the whole thing was being donated, right? So it's much different if you're doing a 24-hour stream for charity, right? Like people are going. But I watched his hype train. I took a picture of it. Level 5 hype train, 3204%, 3200%.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I've seen Scratch hit a really high one once before, but no, I've never seen something that high before. I was in there when that happened, when he got that hype train like that. That was
that was when he ended the show in the last hour. Yeah. That guy Ion 1977. He dropped a 50 pack at the end.
That's him. That's Ion. When I think of Ion, that's what I think of.
A 50 pack at the end. I was like, wow.
This guy. Wow. I mean, Ion. I don't know who Ion is, but all I know is when he and I are in the same Scratch channel together, I'll always say hiding from Ion because he is like, it's crazy.
Yeah, he drops 10 in J's like 2 or 3 times. Like it's different. But I mean, this stream, it was nice to see him wrap it up. And then he ended up, ironically, he was doing it for Make-A-Wish. He ended up ending the stream at 11:11, which was the perfect way to do it, right? But
that's right.
Yeah. He did fantastic. But it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't like he just did it 24 hours. Like
yeah, I know.
I mean, he went to Twitch. He was on the homepage, right? Like he told them what he was doing. So
yeah, no, to do a 24-hour like stream of just music and background stuff. No, I don't think I'd do that. I think 6-7 hours is fine. I mean, it's harmless and whatnot. It's especially if you're just playing a bunch of tunes, and big deal. But yeah, but then you talk about copyright issues there too. I mean, that's wrong too. But like I say, everything we're all doing technically is wrong. So whatever. Until we can't do it, then we just keep doing it. The question is, I am curious though about, because obviously we all have this thing that they implemented a little while ago with the copyright and those hits that we get. Do any of you guys have? So none of you guys have like any hits on you, like Tom. None of you guys have like any marks for copyright or anything.
No.
I'm curious of when that sort of and what that takes. Like who implements that and who
Eli,
how does get a hit.
You can look on your page right now. I forgot where to go.
Yeah, I see it.
If How do you go? I forgot where to go.
You have to go into content, and then
yeah, that's it. Content.
And you go into video producer, and on the right hand side it says copyright on your channel.
Yeah,
So,
I got like 3 already so far. I think.
You have what?
No, I have none.
No,
I'm just checking again.
So none of us have any hits, right?
No, and I have 14 VODs up right now.
I have 3, and
0.
Yeah, and I'm muted.
Yeah, I don't put once a DJ stream. If I do play music now is done, I get rid of it right away. The talking is fine, but even on some of the interviews I've done with my musician friends, I've played their videos, and a video has been muted out.
Right.
And, you know,
and you have full permission to play it from the artist itself.
Correct. But it still doesn't matter. It's going to, you know,
It's the algorithm. The algorithm knows just to blatant.
Yeah.
I just put them up because if somebody comes by my channel, it proves that my channel's still active.
Right. That's what I do too.
Your channel will still prove that it's active. It always says last live when the last time you were live.
Yeah, I know, but there's a bunch of videos, right? So it's like they can take a look and see what's going on.
And not that they can hear anything; they just see it. You know, it counts as a hit.
It's not fully muted.
No, you have a few seconds here and there that you have available. But I mean, I think that's harmless. I've heard from like so many different sources that doesn't really matter that they're on there. I think it's like people who are throwing like actual like. I mean, again, this is just what I feel. I think if you're like showing not music videos specifically or audio, but if you're showing like movies, like clips from movies, like longer than like a minute or 2 minutes of a movie, that is a little bit where it becomes a little bit dicey because that's all I would think based on the assumption of the
Cue my carding.
I mean, my show from Saturday night, 3 hours. There's 18 minutes that's muted.
Yeah, see, so there's a lot of it out there, but a lot of it is just algorithm and how they choose to do it and what they want to do and who they want to do it to. So it's because like I say, someone like Scratch, every single one of his is on his channel. He's never deleted any of his VODs. Obviously, every stream he's done since he's been on and been on Restream is all on his Twitter. Every single one you want to see. If you want to see one of these nights from 7 months ago, it's on his Twitter. So
yeah, Periscope hasn't done anything with that yet, so they're okay. Right. Okay in that sense.
And the funny thing, Periscope is sort of not even around anymore, but it's still around. So I'm confused of how that even works.
As long as they don't mute Staples' beautiful voice, I'm happy.
Shucks.
Don't try and schmooze me.
Right.
I'm still awake. I'm listening.
I know you are. I'm just saying.
It's exhausting.
It's my voice is smooth like butter.
It is.
You're like Wary Light.
What?
You're like Wary Light.
Something.
Not very light.
Very light. You can't. That's racist.
He's got the radio. He's got the late night radio DJ voice.
Yeah.
You're listening.
The Jazz FM.
Once again.
The Panda.
The Panda. What's that from again? What movie was that?
Yeah, I'm glad you got it. That's from Daddy's Home. Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
Will Ferrell works at the Panda, the jazz station. Mark Wahlberg comes in, and all of a sudden, he's the voice of the Panda.
So great. Such a great.
I always said I had a voice for radio, though,
right.
or a face for radio.
Face.
But I look just like him. So what's that?
I think we all do here. So anyway.
Anyways, I'm going to sign off so I can go to bed.
Yeah, it's getting dark.
Come on, I want to do the raid thing, but I want it real quick. Can somebody explain to me where on Twitch I can go again just to check my moderator settings? I want to do something real quick. I want to.
You gotta go into.
You go into your settings.
Yeah. Settings and then
channel and videos.
Sorry, say again.
Channel and videos.
Hold on.
Well, you guys can figure that out. I'm not good at all the rest of
that. Yeah, you don't need to be here. You can
go. No, I appreciate you guys having me on. Actually, last week when I was doing this, I had got my COVID shot in the morning.
Oh, that's great.
I had got it at 9 a.m. and right around dinner time, I stopped. Like I could not eat. And then right before my stream, I stream in the basement. Yeah. Normally, I'm down there on just a t-shirt. I put a t-shirt on and then a sweater. Did the entire show, moved around more than I normally would. And when I was doing the show, like you guys just standing there for that extra hour, it hit me. I went to bed not more than 10 minutes after the stream in a t-shirt and a sweater under the full comforter, and I was freezing.
Nice.
Woke up an hour later, and I had shaken the coldness. When I got up on the Tuesday, it was a complete like it felt like a hangover. Like it was.
So how did you feel the following days?
My whole body I got the shot Monday. Yeah. My whole body on Tuesday was like done. Like I was sore, could not eat nothing. Wednesday I started to regain part of it, but that's when I had a headache, and then a little bit of that. And by Thursday, like if I would cough, I would have a headache. And then by Friday, I was fine. But that was the AstraZeneca shot, first AstraZeneca shot.
Yeah, so your immune system got completely shot because of that. That's all.
The best way to describe it is a hangover, though. Like you're sore, you're dehydrated. Like it's not fun. And I've heard that Moderna and Pfizer, you're going to get that after the second shot, but after AstraZeneca, like you get your ass kicked after the first shot. And
you drink lots of water on a regular basis.
Water, Gatorade, everything. Like I knew what was coming, but I got it last week, and I was like. A few people have mentioned to me now that like you look kind of pale as like the night was going on. I was like, man, I was just standing there, like because it was later in the day. I was like, holy.
Yeah, when you were saying like you wanted to go, I remember looking at you standing there. Yeah, you could tell you're kind of like, all right, he's done.
Yeah, and my apologies for that, but I didn't realize like it just started to hit you standing there for 2 hours, right? So.
You can't control it, Mark. You can't control it. Like I'm listening closely because I'm going on Thursday morning, but it'll either be Pfizer or Moderna. I don't know which one, but
everybody's body is different and will react.
Apparently, you're okay after the first shot, and that it's the second shot that hits you harder. But AstraZeneca, you're supposed to get hit after the first shot.
Okay.
But everybody will react differently, right? I'm glad I got it, but now I'm sitting there like, whoa. You know, it took a toll. Like, don't play anything the next day.
That's why you're afraid.
So if you don't see me at the end of the week, you'll know where I am.
The best way to describe it is just a hangover. Like your whole body is drained and you have a headache. You just like a hangover. You need to just hydrate. Which is funny because there's no reason why it should dehydrate you, but that's the best way to describe it, right? And your muscles are sore.
For my wife, she had full body chills, like she was shaking almost uncontrollably.
Who's this?
My wife, when she got the AstraZeneca, like it hit her like a ton of bricks, like way worse than any hangover I've ever seen. I was concerned enough that I did some Googling to make sure she was within the realm of what's normal.
Yeah.
Hey, Disco Vinny, tomorrow morning I'll try and send you a video.
I know he was asking, and I was trying to help him out, but I mean, I said, Dan, you're the best person for that. So sorry, we were talking about the.
What does he need?
Disco Vinny's been trying really hard to, no pun intended, to figure out the Cabagen thing to get the 5 million things, the emojis that fly.
Get the screen going.
Yeah.
Wait. Is it Capagen or Capagen?
Capagen, no?
Tomato, who cares?
Yeah.
I want to know who came up with that.
GIF, whatever.
GIF.
I'll type it in the chat, Staples. It's
What's
Capagen.
that?
It's Capagen.
Yeah, but that's how it's typed. But is it pronounced Capagen or Capagen?
It could be.
It is Capagen. I don't know what Staples is talking about.
I mean, you slide the fader to how many you want, and then you pick the
fraternity. I'll tell you that. It's for the Bata Capagen.
Yeah.
Capagen.
The power goes out. We got the generator going.
Yeah.
Put the fire mode in it and poof.
Yeah. Right.
So I know you guys talk to like 2-3 in the morning, but
no,
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna call it a night.
I'm gonna raid Bracktune in a couple of minutes at midnight, and then we can go offline for a little bit if anybody's interested. But I figure 5 more minutes.
I'll do a half an hour offline.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not even going to stream next week. I'm just going to hang out with Buddha and stuff. Make sure he doesn't say anything that he's not doing. But I'm gonna relax on the Mondays for a bit because you guys have got this on. Plus the playoffs start in a couple weeks. So
who's in the playoffs? Do we know who's in the playoffs? Or I haven't watched one hockey or basketball game in.
We know that Toronto's in. We know that Calgary's not. And we know that New Jersey's not.
Oh, so. Is this have to do? Is this within the battle you're talking about, or is this the actual hockey?
Well, no. I mean, the Leafs will. They ended up losing tonight, but
But how does it work out before you go? I know you want to go, but how does it work out now? It's only been Canadian teams playing against Canadian teams.
So what'll happen is there's 4 Canadian teams that are going to make it: Winnipeg, Edmonton, Montreal, Toronto. Looks like Toronto's going to play Montreal.
Okay.
Although Montreal, after tonight's win, will probably move into third, so Toronto could end up playing Winnipeg. Regardless, there's 4 teams.
I had a dream Montreal won the Stanley Cup. I had a dream Montreal won. Anyway, go on.
It's funny because it is the last Canadian team that won, but that was back in '93. So basically, Toronto will play probably Montreal or Winnipeg for the first round, and Edmonton will play Montreal or Winnipeg, whatever the two. Those 2 winners will play each other. Now, I have watched enough Toronto games to know that I don't think there's a team that can beat Toronto in 4 games. So Toronto should be able to win. Toronto should be able to win.
Toronto should be able to win. Is that what you're saying?
The first 2 rounds, because I mean they have not had difficulty against anybody else. So that will take them to the Final Four. Then they'll go down to the States, and then they'll play.
Whoever.
But that should take them to the Final Four, and all they got to do is beat Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Montreal. They've played them a few times.
Yeah.
They don't really have any difficulty against any of those teams. They should be able to beat them, and that should take them to the Final Four. So the problem is you haven't played the teams the rest of the year, so you don't know how good Colorado is. You don't know how good Carolina is because Carolina's in first place. You don't know how good Vegas is because there's no point of reference. You only know how good your own division is.
It'll be 1992 all over again.
And when they go to the States, they're staying in the States and not coming back.
So they'll go down and they'll either get some kind of quarantine exemption. I mean, they're getting tested every day, so they'll get that. But they'll probably go down and they'll take 5 days, and then the next round will start. But they will go down to the States to finish it off.
From your lips to God's ears, Marky D. We'll see.
I mean, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if they could do well. But I mean, I just felt like, I mean, I'm sure it was a very interesting season. I just had no desire to watch. Even though it's kind of cool. I mean, hockey is Canadian, regardless of what anybody thinks.
You've got 2 of the best players with McDavid and Matthews, absolutely destroying the league. Like Matthews is 10 goals ahead of anybody else, and McDavid is like 15 points ahead of anybody else in a shortened season. Like they will set records. Like it's fantastic. It's fantastic, and the Leafs have really got a good squad. So they haven't won a playoff round in 17 years. So hopefully this is.
Well, Grizz wants to say something.
Mark, you have to remember who they were shooting against to get all these points in the Canadian division. You got to be fair. They weren't shooting against the top goalies in the league, so time will tell. Time will tell.
He's a Boston fan.
Good point.
Who just clinched the playoffs tonight?
All right, point up to you, Eli.
Listen. I mean, you get stuck where they geographically that's where they got put, right? Ottawa was no threat this year. Calgary wasn't really a threat, and Vancouver. I mean, the whole team had COVID. They were off for 3 weeks, right?
Right.
Like they didn't come back. Well, that only leaves 4 teams left. If those 4 teams just go 50-50, like they're going to make the playoffs, right?
Exactly.
That's the luck of the draw. But you still got to get through it.
It'd be funny. It'd be funny if they actually win the Stanley Cup this year, the Leafs, and then we can't do anything about it. We can't do anything about it. We're all in our fucking homes.
Yeah, please.
The way the government's talking,
Young Street's not going to get freaking raided like crazy if that happens. Come on, guys.
The way that everybody's talking, everybody 18 plus should be able to get a shot by end of May.
I think by
No. Marky, 18 plus will be able to book an appointment.
That's right.
Won't have a shot.
Right.
It depends on how quickly they're going to roll it out. I made an appointment today for one of my sons. It's next week, but that's because his medical condition he's in the right slot right now, but they're opening up bookings a week at a time. They say by the end of June, not the end of May. Sorry.
I mean, I think
I just want to be careful.
As a province, I think they said last year, I think by July, I think by Canada Day, we're going to be probably in a better position. Yeah. But we still have another month and a half to 2 months of just going through this horse show.
I mean, hockey's gonna be 2 months, but I mean, is there gonna be mass parades? No. But regardless,
no, everything's closed.
Yeah, there won't be mass parades anywhere, right? But can you do
That's
something?
why I say it'd be funny if they won it this year. Of all years, they win it.
Yeah, but that's fine. They'll just have a parade at the beginning of next season in September. Things will be in better shape, and that's it, right?
We have a parade for the Raptors one year, and then the Leafs win the following year, and we have no parade.
Hey, the Blue Jays. Let's not count the Blue Jays out. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. They're playing in a whole different country, so great.
Anyways.
The Blue Jays gave me 2 years. Have a good sleep, Marky.
That's your hockey info.
Soon, definitely.
That was great. That was good. That was better than Don Cherry, man.
For everybody who needs Tim Hortons picks for your hockey, just Marky's the guy.
I'll give you my Tim Hortons picks. There they are.
All right, I'm going to try something. I know I can't raid into a brag team, but I'm going to try something different. So, everybody, I'm going to say our goodbyes now, and I hope to God this works, because if not, I'm not going to do the raid. I don't care. It's my job.
Just want to say one thing before you leave.
Yeah, go for it.
Eduardo!
Yes, I sent Eduardo the link. We're going to get him on soon.
He's sleeping. He said he's in the pajamas, he said.
Yep. We'll get him on, though. We'll get him on here.
Well, Dan.
Is that?
Dan.
Oh, my God. Look at this.
Brad.
Yeah.
Where's he been all night?
Dan, the Audio Brothers wanted to come back on too.
Bring on Mike and bring on the Audio Brothers.
Okay, Mike, you got the link, and Audio Brothers, you got the link too.
Mike, come on. Mike, I'm going to be here for half an hour. Come in for like 20 minutes.
So, okay, Anne-Marie, I want to try something.
This is the most I've talked in.
You can go into, do you have Twitch open, Anne-Marie?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, keep the volume down. We're going to do a little experiment.
She's got her headphones on, so it shouldn't matter.
It doesn't, I know, but still, it would still come through.
Twitch is muted. I've learned my lesson.
No worries. I want you to go into the chat if you don't mind, Anne-Marie. I don't want to come.
I have it open. No, I have it open.
All right. In the chat, if you don't mind, type in this command: /raid.
Yeah, just take my keyboard's really hinky. Okay, yeah.
Don't make your problems my problems. Go /raid.
Yeah.
Space. And then I am DJ Task, but I think you got to put the @ symbol in front of it.
Yeah,
sorry.
Try that.
No,
you don't need the @ symbol.
No @
No?
Okay.
Mary does this all the time. What are you talking to?
Grizz, you're frozen?
Nope.
Yeah,
I'm here.
We're reading.
But he's frozen.
No, he's not. Who?
Grizz is frozen on the screen.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, that's him frozen? I thought he's been like that the entire night.
Everyone say goodbye. I'm going to play the video to go out.
Take care, everyone. Have a good night.
Later, everybody. Thanks for...
See you tomorrow.
Thanks for pointing it out.
I don't know if it works.